Okay. Yo, welcome back to the Blueprint Podcast. It's your boys, Stu and John.
No
back
clap.
at it again.
No
What?
clap.
No. What, no clap? Oh, sync the clap?
Yeah, sing the
Damn.
clap.
All right,
I was
sorry,
like,
sorry. No, well, I didn't do it last time, but then again, I think we had it going.
has it been good?
Yeah, no, it has been good, yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, we'll sync the clap. All right, restart on that.
Restart it.
But, yeah, so it's your boys, Blueprint Podcast. It's Stu and John. Welcome back. And today we got a very special guest, which I will introduce in just a moment. But as always, you know, all facts, no caps on wax. Bam, bam, bam. And
So
we back
just to let everybody know here, because the on wax, so anything that is truthful to life, that's like a real piece of knowledge or anything, we always say like on wax, snap. Just a cool nugget. If like any cool advice that you give, that's just like that's a golden treasure. That's on wax. So that's what that means.
Yeah, so
we'll do that.
That's
you don't have to
that's
do
a lot
it.
of pressure.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it. We'll do it.
No, you don't have to do it. For the most
Don't
part,
worry about
everybody usually catches on towards the end.
Yes.
But in your guys' case, like I said, you guys don't have to. But if you feel it, then by all means.
Can I do it for something that I say?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, by all means, yeah, go for it. Yeah, if you feel like it's that kind of heat, then by all
It's
means,
like, people just need to get it. It's like on wax.
But since since we just started getting into the conversation, I'd like to introduce Ferino Distillery's own. Y'all can introduce yourselves.
Joe Marcos.
Joe Marcos.
Joe.
Yeah,
Marcos. That's Joe.
Joe Marcos.
Yeah,
Yes.
but how's it going, guys? I know we haven't spoken in a little bit,
Yeah.
and it was good to see y'all, come in the door, with your cheery faces, man. It was good to see you on a Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah, how's everything going?
How's everything
Absolutely. No, it's good. It's good. No, we're doing our thing down on 4th Street. So
4th Street things,
going? You could just say the building name. You don't have to say it.
No, yeah, like I said, down on 4th Street. There's a giant smile on Joe's face, like 4th Street.
Yeah. Fun times down there.
always an adventure. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, y'all just came from the distillery right now, huh?
Yeah. We were just there. We were doing. I was doing some like prep and getting everything ready for tonight, and then Joe he just lives there. I understand.
Just lives in the back.
Yeah, he lives upstairs now. He's got his office all set up. He has like a bar cart
Stay
now.
close to the work. Yeah.
I mean, I was about to say he's got the shirt, he's got the hat.
Oh, I know.
He's just repping right now.
I just gave a little a distillery tour today, so I'm all branded out.
Oh, nice, dude.
Okay.
Nice.
But if you guys want to give any like introductions, what do you guys do? What's your business like?
Sure.
Just starting off,
yeah,
like
absolutely.
I'm a new person, don't know anything about you guys. Like, give it to me straight. No.
So Ferino Distillery is a full functioning distillery and cocktail bar down on 4th Street. I'm sure we'll get into maybe a little more of the backstory later, but for short, we opened in November of 19, so it's kind of a pandemic opening. We got the bar open in November, and then the distillery operations opened up in February of 2020.
So how was that? Was it bumpy ride or what?
Yeah, nothing if not good at timing things, it was crazy. It's been a wild ride. Tough time to open a hospitality business, but we're still here. We're fighting it. I'm pretty stubborn. So
yeah, what were some of the troubles that you had when starting? I mean, obviously the pandemic, you can't have anybody in drinking really.
Yeah,
it's a really hard situation.
Well,
how'd you work around that?
I became a professional grant submission artist.
Okay, what does that mean?
Got all the government money that I could get
there we
to
go.
survive.
Yeah.
Because
because they were giving out. Yeah.
Well, the idea was to like be open and like have people in the door and like show people what we do and kind of tell my story and the reason I got into this and share my products and whatnot. That was pretty challenging for a while there.
So was it a lot of like mask with straws?
I know. Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was like it was like trying to figure out like why COVID knew whether or not there was like a slice of pizza at the bar or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was all right. I mean the things just changed from month to month. That was the hard part. So
were hours just
planning was
completely
hard.
weird or like?
Yeah, the hours were weird. We couldn't really like do the tours thing. Like that's a big part of what I like to do. It's my favorite part of the job is like having people in, showing them around, telling them the story, backstory, and sharing the products and all that good stuff. So then that just wasn't really possible for like a while. But yeah, no, it was good. But no, I mean, I don't want to be like COVID downer,
No, I mean, you obviously
it is
made
what it is.
Yeah. Like that's an important thing.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a real accomplishment.
Yeah,
there's a lot of businesses like that. I'm assuming there's a lot of them that started in that same way. Like they opened probably like on the back end of 2019, and then
Mm-hmm.
at early like
And then
2020 just went straight to hell. So
Yeah.
I again, you should, it's a pat on the back for you.
It was weird. It's just been weird, and now we're finally getting to a point now where I feel like we're doing the things that we sort of set out to do from the
Do you feel like you
beginning,
could never fail at this point just because you started off in that?
Oh, I could definitely fail.
You got that confidence. though? It's like-
I fail every day, but fail fast is a motto that I've stuck
On wax.
by, you know?
I say
Yeah,
that's on
there we
wax
go.
right there. There you
Only
go.
truth and nugget.
I was like,
We're
on
gonna
wax.
catch on. Yeah.
All right, but I got Marcos here. Is a big part of what we're doing right now and the momentum that we're building. So that's awesome.
Did you guys start together or?
Well,
No, I was.
Yeah, you got it.
No,
No.
That's like, what you're at 8 months in now.
No, I'm 10. Next
Oh.
month's my
Oh,
year.
damn.
No, 11.
Yeah.
I'm about to be a year.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a heck of a segue, like Marcos. And
Yeah, 'cause Marcos
tell
is-
us about yourself, dude.
Marcos comes off really
Yeah, no,
super
I
involved,
mean-
like he started it up.
Yeah.
It's a funny story. It's like I came in and dropped off my resume, and I totally forgot that it was like black and orange print, but then I put black and white print only. So when I put my resume, my email, and my phone number wasn't on there.
Oh wow.
So then when I went to go drop it off at Joe, I was like, I realized it after I got like another call from somebody else, or like they hit me up like, hey, like it was Chapel. They like hit me up like, hey, like you didn't put your name or your number, so we got it through like another friend, and then pretty much like Joe went through all my references that had the numbers, and then hit me up. And
Wow, okay.
yeah, and then pretty much he asked me, he's like, what
He
can
had
we do here?
zero contact information on his resume.
You had to work
Basically.
hard.
Yeah,
to
he
get
had.
him.
And I mean,
That's one heck of a way to hire somebody.
These,
It's like, I need
these
to find
days,
this
I
guy.
know. I should have just been like, nope. But there were like, there's almost nobody that actually like ever like put a job application on Facebook, and then you get a bunch of people, and then like half the people don't even show up
Yeah.
or whatever. Like nobody's just like walking into a place these days and like putting a resume down and being like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. Show face. Yeah.
So I was like, that means something. So it was worth at least trying to track him down.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool.
Never again.
Never again on
At
that
one
one.
time
you were the
only.
lucky one.
Yeah, and that was it. And then it was crazy when I got there because I'm like, this place is tight. Like, what happened? Because I didn't know it was even open until like my girlfriend at times, like, because I was trying to get into craft cocktails and
Okay.
started to understand more.
So
Cause
you
I,
were already doing it.
Yeah, I was bartending at a steakhouse, and I was getting like kind of salty because I'm like, why do we not have like a cocktail menu? And they're like, well, and I'm like, well, you'd make more money, like not trying to be like a dick, but then
Yeah.
they didn't want to listen to the young buck, and I even like told my manager, I was like, hey, like, why don't you? He's like, I've tried, they just didn't want to like improve, so I was like, all right, I'm done. And then she had met Joe's wife at where she worked at, and then eventually like went in, dropped off a resume, and then that's the end of that. I was also working at Red Rock Studio.
Okay.
Like I was a doorman there for a while. I kind of liked working the door. I do
like
miss.
working the
I miss those days because it was fun because I met all like the people. But then sometimes I'm just like see like a cutie come in and I'm like, oh, tight, and then I see them leave with like an ugly guy. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, that could have been you.
That could have been me. That could have been me. But it was tight. Like working there, like I learned a lot. Like at the places that I did work, I had like good mentors. Like Kenny from the steakhouse I worked at. He was my first one. Kind of like he always said is he gave me an inch and I just went a mile with it. Just started like reading books, started getting into it, and then Joe finally hired me. And during the interview, he's just like, "What do you want to do here?" I'm like, "I don't know. Like, you can do this and that." Eventually, I threw the first party was Isaac's party, Sky's party.
Yep, I was there. Yep.
Yeah, Sky. Like, I was just like, we were hooping one day, and then I said, "Do you want to throw a listening party for Band-Aid?" And a week, literally just took like a week, and then we just that's it.
Yeah.
And then
It seems so official too. I was like, whoa, flyers and everything.
yeah,
And I was
flyers
like,
and everything.
wow.
Really, like credit to him too. He
Yeah, he put
did
it
most
together.
of he did the
Yeah, I was gonna say,
flyers.
he told me all about
He
it. I
brought
was
the
like, wow.
people in, and then eventually that was like my first cocktail menu I ever made. We had the
Yeah,
dirty horchata.
He made like a diagram, show people where to park.
Yeah,
and
he
stuff.
did.
was
Yeah,
like,
I was-
What, did you have a whole
Alright.
map, dude?
Yeah. No, Isaac got the whole. He had the pictures
Wow.
taken out.
Wow.
He's like parking here, parking there.
Wow, that's hey.
When he
honestly,
wants
that's
to do
very
it, he does it well.
organized.
Yeah,
That's
Isaac
very
did.
well organized.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so like you came in with all this knowledge, and like how much have you learned since you?
Well,
got
I
there?
came in with probably.
Well, like the hunger to.
I had like the bottom line. I knew what to do, and then eventually, I've definitely like as Joe said like failed a lot. I did my mess up, Joe kind of like, there's this one time that's memorable because he let me go to the distributor store, like first time by myself. He's like, all right, like get some booze. And then they ended up like kind of clowning me, honestly. They're like, hey, get this mezcal. Like I was like $120 a bottle. And I was like, it's from the state where my family's from, you know, this and that.
Yeah.
I brought it back and he didn't write me a new one, but he's like, yo, why the fuck did you buy a $120 bottle of mezcal? And that was like my first failure of like that point. I was like, damn, okay. Can't get much worse than this. But I didn't come in. I came with like a little bit of knowledge, and then I started learning because he knows a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
He makes it. Like he's the one that distills. He's the master distiller if you ever look at his business card.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I learned a lot from him, and especially like when it comes to like Amaros and stuff, because he's been to Italy. He's tried it. Like he's been to a couple of distilleries out there, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then a lot of lonely times in that bar though before that party, before Isaac's party.
Oh yeah.
And
It's
before
still it's still like in its infancy phases, right? Of like just coming up and everything. Okay.
Yeah, there was like no one that was really there. I mean, I had another coworker too, and she was like pretty cool, but it was like that's the difficulty about like working in the brewing district or like 4th Street, getting those people out there, like just getting them past like Valley Road. It's like, dude, just one block up. That's it.
So speaking of 4th Street, like how did you end up in that location? Like how did that come about? Like, and also I guess how'd you end up like just giving it the structure that it is too? Because from the first time we went in there, we were kind of blown away. Like, well, we've never been to this place. This place is dope.
Yeah.
So kind of just walk us through like.
yeah,
This is the
how
only one, right? This is the only Ferino distillery. This is the first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there's no other.
No, it's the first one that we opened that was like ours, right? So
Okay.
when I first started out of San Francisco, actually. So I grew up in Las Vegas. Went to school like in the Bay Area.
Okay.
My wife grew up in Northern Nevada, so like we've kind of done the whole
I got a home
the
here.
whole triangle, I guess. And so, but yeah, we launched in San Francisco. So just a like quick little bit of backstory. But
Yes, go ahead.
so Canella is my family name. It's the Italian word for cinnamon. I am Mr. Cinnamon, for better or worse. But that's kind of like where things kind of got started. So it was a trip to Sicily. In 2010, that kind of like is like the backstory for all of this, and I'm there, and I'm in Catania, Sicily. I started looking around town. I started seeing my name everywhere, which was like, it's always fun. You go to the place where your family name is from, and
Yeah,
it pops up around. So it was
got some pride going.
Via Canella, the street sign, Cafe Canella. There was a women's clothing store called Canella,
Wow.
spelled the same way with 2 N's and 2 L's, the right way.
Oh wow.
I would say your name seems
Just
very
kidding,
popular.
just kidding. No, it's a Latin word for cinnamon, right?
Uh-huh.
So, so I was there, and I was at my little hotel bar. It was the night before I'm gonna come back, and I'm there, and I'm looking up, and I'm just looking for something interesting, and I was like, oh, be damned. There was a bottle with my name on it. Even the liquor in Sicily had my name. There's a bottle. It's called a Rosolio di Canella. It's like a cinnamon liqueur, and that was cool. And it's kind of like the bottle that kind of sparked, honestly, this whole thing, because I was like, oh, that's cool.
Because you were already doing liquor distillery before you went over? Or?
No. This was like this is the origin story.
Okay.
Yes.
So there was there was
Before
no
it
like
became the
passion
Cape Crusader.
pre before that.
What's that?
Well, there was no like passion for the liquor distillery.
For drinking it, yeah. I had a
That's all you
passion
need.
for that. Yeah, no, I mean, and part of that was driven by like being in San Francisco is like one of the cocktail capitals of the world, right?
Yes. Okay.
And so I kind of grew to an appreciation for nice drinks, I guess. And but that was sort of the impetus. And so I brought some bottles back. I quickly discovered that I couldn't have any more unless I went to Sicily. No one was importing it, whatever. So finally got frustrated enough to start tinkering around, like make my own family recipe. So this is kind of where it started. The hobby turned into an obsession.
You're like, I want more. Here.
Yeah, and so that's kind of how it started.
You said your family recipes, like dive
Well,
in a little bit, like.
Yeah, I mean, I started the family recipe basically, right? So I started playing around at home, like making like my own version of like the Canella, right? So it was similar, but kind of like made it my own to what I found in Sicily, and so, it's basically like a digestivo they called it in Italy, a digestive. Italians are kind of obsessed with digestion. Okay. Like it's all the pasta.
That's actually really good to know. Oh, wow, I did not know that.
But yeah, it's all these categories of like these like after dinner drinks, these herbal liqueurs, these things, et cetera, et cetera. So that sort of sparked the inspiration. Hooked up with a couple guys who started a distillery in San Francisco, and they, we met, and by the end of the meeting, they were like, well, why don't you make it here. Why don't you launch it here out of our space? So I kind of launched there, eventually moved to Reno in 2017, and now we're here.
It's been here. Wow.
Yeah. How long were you working that one in California?
We launched basically 2015, so like 2.5 years before we moved here.
And
Wow.
how's that experience? Like, because this is your first like own liquor, right? So it's like, how was that working with those guys? And like, what was the point where you're like, you know what, I want to do my own thing over here?
Yeah, well, I mean, there was like two different things going on. We started like growing it to the point where it was like uncomfortable for both of us. They were awesome. I mean, at the end of the day, they like allowed me to get my start, which is like amazing. So, you know, I was able to like kind of launch with them, get the product out there, get some feedback, and then like we sold all the bottles. So I was like, oh, sweet.
Oh, you're like, oh, I'm pretty good actually.
Yeah.
This is a good turnout.
And somebody told me very early on, they're like, anybody can sell something once, you know, to your friends or your family, whatever. The key is if they come back for a second bottle, then you know you have a business, right? So so people were coming back for a second bottle, so I was like, all right, cool. But what drove me to Reno, we were always going to come to Reno because my wife's whole family's here, and we were going to have a family and all that good stuff. But after our first daughter was born in San Francisco, my wife was pregnant a couple years later, and we were like, cool, we're in our like one bedroom, like 800 square foot apartment, like on the 3rd floor with no elevator in San Francisco, which was like great. We loved it. And she had another kid. We're like, all right, okay, we'll rip this closet out. We'll figure it out. And then we found out it was twins, and it was like, bye, see ya.
Wow. I was like, that's a wrench right there. Wow.
So we're like, all right,
it's like surprise.
Sounds good. All right, we're gonna move close to family. So we like basically, that was like, it sped up our inevitable.
So you would have stayed over there a lot longer.
Oh, probably not that much longer, but that was like that night, you know.
You're like, nope,
we're out of here.
So
give notice to our landlord.
So
and we're out.
so obviously, like, you know, before, you know, you opened in 2019 and before COVID, like, how was that how was the transition from here? Like, what did you run into any like issues or anything that you kind of didn't anticipate? Like, how was that transition from there to here?
It's fine. I mean, I feel like I'm just barely coming out of the fog of like having like 3 young children and trying to be the lunatic that like builds a business, you know, at the same exact time, you know. So it's like, you know, it would have been easier if it was like before kids. It would have been easier if the kids were like in the like teenagers, you know. Maybe, I don't know, I guess we'll find out.
And obviously if you had more space in San Francisco too, right? Like, more different.
Exactly. But you know, it was like, I'm the you know, I guess I'm the crazy person that was like, yeah, we can do this, you know. But yeah, we had a lot of family support, so like we, you know, like we got like a lot of family here, so that would not have made that decision without that. But my father-in-law like built the bar, like all the woodwork and everything. It's very much a family business. My wife sells the products because she works for a distributor, so she's actually like our like salesperson.
Oh wow, all in-house.
My father-in-law built the bar, so it's like, you know, the definition of like a family business.
Yeah, you definitely got it. It's definition of family business. That's crazy. I didn't even. Yeah, I mean, I think you might have mentioned that, but that's actually very interesting to know that. Yeah, it's just a straight up like family business. Yeah, wow, this blows me away.
Yeah, were there any spots you were looking for before that one?
That was the first place that I saw.
First place, one and done.
That was it. That was it.
This is it.
Pulled the trigger. I mean, I knew we needed some amount of space, which was cool. I knew that, you know, like there was some history on 4th Street. I've learned a lot more since then. But no, it was just like, yeah, this makes sense to me, you know. I don't know. Before us, it was empty for like a year, but before that it was the Reno Bike Project, which is like a beloved local institution, which we love, and so I was like, all right, that's cool. You know, the space, I could see the potential for the space. You know, we've done a lot, you know, with it, but I don't know, it just like it felt right.
Wow, that's awesome. So, Ferino, how did that name come about? And was that the Ferino name? Was that also what you were using in San Francisco, or
no? Everything was like everything was last name. Everything was Canella before that. You know, so it was like so we used it was like Canella Spirits like before that. Annie, my wife, she got tired of me put my name on everything, I think. But no, I'm just kidding. No, it's not true. But no, so I wanted the distillery to have its own kind of identity outside of the product line. You know, so. And so, you know, just I wanted to keep like an Italian name, and I wanted something that kind of spoke to me. So it you know, it took some time. I kind of it's like you like put the Italian dictionary on your face kind of thing, and like hope it just comes to you by osmosis.
So you're just kind of just searching and just looking.
Yeah, just like seeing what would like what would pop up, and eventually like this word Ferino kind of like stood out to me. I was like, oh, that's interesting, and it turns out it's the Italian word for feral or wild, and so like I was like, oh, that's like it's a strong word. It's like a fun word. It's
powerful.
And it's like. It was like Austin and Portland. It was like keep Portland weird, keep Austin weird.
Yeah.
I was like, that doesn't really make sense to read, but like keep Reno feral. Like I was like, yeah, like feral is a good word.
Yeah,
and like
sense of grit.
Yeah, like Northern Nevada for me feels like it's still like one of like the last bastions of the Wild West. Like you get a little bit out of town, and it's like we're in the West. Like it's a little bit feral around these parts. Sometimes.
Wow.
And so so then and also like kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit when you say like I like to say that we built that place Ferino, so
nice play on words,
it kind of just and that happened by accident, but I was like, oh well, then that's a done deal.
Do you believe in destiny?
No,
yeah,
definitely destiny. And and I get caught up in like saying it too, because like I think the first time we looked up like your spot, like I was like when he was telling me like, oh, it's Ferino, I'm like, for Reno, and he's like, no, Ferino. I was like, what?
Yeah, I thought
I was
it
like,
was
this is
for
so close.
Reno.
Yeah, I was like, this is a close, very close to saying Ferino, and I'm pretty sure I told him too. I was like, I'm pretty sure that was planned, but who knows? But you're telling us the story now. I was like,
halfway.
Yeah, it's halfway.
Yeah.
It kind of worked out.
It
Like
worked out.
again, fate.
Yes.
But excuse me. But basically, like, so you kind of like moved in, like everything's good, and now you're kind of like past. I guess we're not done with COVID, but
in Nevada, I'd say we're done with COVID.
Yeah, we're done with COVID. Yeah, feels like that.
Yeah.
Because like I like definitely sense a huge passion for the history of everything you do. And is it more? Well, I know you love both, but is it more of like you love the history behind everything, and then there's liquor involved, or is it like there's liquor involved, and then here's some history?
It's the liquor. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, you said you went over there for it.
He said
it's a lot. It's a lot of. It's honestly, it's a lot of both. But like the liquor side of it, right? It's like so. Okay, great. Alcohol. It's a part of our culture, part of our society. But what is it? What is it about like having a bar? What is it about alcohol? Like, what's the point of it? Like to me,
community. Yeah.
And in its best like expression, it's about celebration. It's about coming together, celebrating. And I always, since I was a kid, wanted to have like a place, like a space to invite people into. For themselves, not for me to like throw the party, but for them to throw the party,
to be like, a hub to host.
To be a host, yeah, exactly. To invite people in, right? Growing up, like for Thanksgiving, we were the family that like my dad's coworkers and friends, and it was all in Las Vegas. There were a lot of like misfits. There were a lot of people.
If you don't have no place to go, come here.
Yeah, exactly. We were the place that like, and so we always had like big Thanksgivings, and it was like like 8 family members and like 20 other crazy people, and it was always a lot of fun because I got to sort of experience like all different kinds of people because it was just like come one, come all, and so I loved that, and I think that really inspired me to like want to, be that person, to like invite all different kinds of people to be, really welcoming and to create a space that's welcome.
So really good sense of that.
Yeah. So in regards to like the space, like how has everything been going in regards to like some events that you've thrown already on there this year? How's everything been going with that?
We've had all different kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
take it away, Marcos. Let's go.
I don't know. It's like kind of because you're still building that bar program. I mean, like, it's weird getting into it because I want to be the best, but there's also like other competition out there. And understanding, like, I was just thrown into the situation. Like, I didn't build the bar. Like, I was there after, so I kind of have to deal with what. Now I'm figuring out, like, okay, like, we can do this right. Like, last weekend we had, I think you guys know Stevie, right? I think she's done like some music here. She just had a fundraiser for the Pineapple Studio.
I know.
The name sounds familiar.
I know Jerry did that.
Yes, Jerry was there. Yes, he was there. So then she came in, and it was like they brought a packed house. It's like those packed house nights where like
you're getting away from like the craft and you're just doing like speed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to just kind of even it out and be like, how can you make the fastest and do like the most perfect? So having those events are rad. I do like it. People are starting to know like Ferino. I don't have to say like, oh, it's on 4th Street. I'm like, oh, I work at Ferino. They're like, oh, we heard about that place now.
Yep.
It's come like a long way. I like where it's going. There are some things I do want to and like get better there. Like always having conversations with Joe about it. We haven't figured out like the theme of the bar yet though. That's like yeah, it's nice to throw these events and have like the going, but it's like kind of bringing just have people just come in and be like, oh, we know we're gonna get a good cocktail and we just want to relax and have a good time. And yeah, I mean the events are just kind of getting like they're wearing out the staff too. I can tell, like because after you work like 2 of those nights in a row, where you're just 2-3 in the morning, you're getting out. Like yeah, it's like it gets hard, and especially after you've had like a couple too during a shift. I mean.
Wait,
like,
what?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's just like, and it's like the industry too. That's why you see a lot of people get like the burnout and the fatigue.
Oh yeah.
It's weird how I see people that are like 40 that are like still bartending. I'm like, how are you like 40? And then like they just never got out of it. They got like trapped in it, like because it's good money where it's at. But then it's like once you're making that money, it's like you don't want to leave it.
No, yeah, that's a very good fact because I mean I have seen like older like bartenders. I'm like, what are, like, is this all you do? Like, I mean, I'm sure it's great money, like you said.
What's your opinion on that, Joe?
Yeah, as the old guy in the room, is that what you're saying?
Well, no, 'cause, I mean, you experience so much life at this point. You know so many people. It's like, is it? I don't know. Is it really being trapped in some places if like you love doing that?
That's a personal thing, you know. No, I mean,
that's why I asked you. Just your opinion. It's not. It doesn't have to be fact or anything.
Yeah,
It's not because you're,
and I'm the least. I mean, I'm not qualified to speak to like bartending as a profession. Obviously, like like I'm we've built a team and I've had different folks come in and make drinks at our space. But no, I think there's a couple of things going on like in bartending right now. But one is definitely like being way more health conscious, I think, than it's ever been. And so I think there's that potential for for like more longevity in the career as long as this is like paying attention to being like taking care of yourself, So I think that's really important. I mean, it's obviously it can be like just super fun and like there's a scene and the bartender, you go out and you go to all your friends' bars and you go out and you do your thing and like nothing wrong with that. But yeah, it can wear on you and eventually
So I had to put the heat on.
Yeah. Eventually you can only handle so much.
Yeah, you just straight just pointed a dart right at him like, hey.
Well, I was like,
I would like to know.
I like to have a good time, and then I had 3 kids, thrown at me, and I had to like kind of make some different life decisions for myself as well. But no, I think I think it's good. I think the industry overall is heading in a much like healthier like direction, and I think that's a good thing.
And do you think?
Are we speaking in terms of burnout or in terms of drinking on the job?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit of both.
Going back to drinking on the job.
I think they sometimes it goes in tandem.
Yeah, I mean, dude. When you're dealing with like
drunk people,
no, dude, it's just like some people.
I would feel that way.
I'm like, I'm just tired, I've been working all day, and it's
exactly.
Like most of the time, like I am like usually there, like those big events, I'm there from like the beginning of it to the end of it. But now I'm like getting better with the crew that I have, and like I do it. Like Sky's killing it, like Carly and Talia, like they're like coming up, and they're gonna like kind of like
to the Ferino staff.
Yeah, like shout out, dude. They're like killing it right now. Like I don't have to worry as much as I did before. But yeah, it's drinking on the job. I mean, I've read it in a couple books. Like it's like some bars are dry, and then some. I forgot. I think it was in Smoke and the Smell. He was talking about how he went to France and he was trying all these cognacs and he didn't trust it when the bartender wasn't drinking behind the bar. And I was like, well, I guess it's true, unless you've had like years in it. And then
I mean, if you're being absolutely ridiculous, like just taking shots every time somebody else takes a shot, there's a problem there probably.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I've had to let go of a couple people here and there for my philosophy my philosophy, which was handed to me. So I opened the place with a gentleman named Michael Moberly. He's a little but he's been around the help build the cocktail scene here for sure. But he said in the beginning, he's like basically told like the original staff, he's like, it's not a problem until it's a problem.
Yep.
When it's a problem, it's a really big fucking problem, and like we need to reconsider like everything if it becomes a problem. But if you don't let it become a problem, like you'll know.
Yeah,
because I'll tell you if it's a problem, and you know, so that's basically. That's basically my philosophy.
There's a hard shift in the dynamic, or like where you're trying to go with everything. You know, when somebody's like completely falling off and they're just doing some random stuff, and you're like, I don't want this spot to become like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But now we're in a good place, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it seems like you guys got a great team. A lot of trust going on. I feel like.
For sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect between each other, and I don't know. Like, are you like how much are you learning about the? Because I wanted to get into this like. Couple questions. One is like, I want you to explain the process of which you guys make liquor, because it's very different than most places. Because as you were telling me when we first came to the bar, you're like, yeah, we don't use synthetic. I'm not sure the exact words you say. I'm kind of just like riffing off of it, but it's like you guys use like fresh herbs that you just like kind of drain out. Can you explain that? I know I'm butchering it.
No, it's fine. So, everything we make is brandy based, so we distill wine to make the brandy. But the main differentiator, like for all of our like flavored spirits, so everything we make has this sort of like Italian context to it, right? And they're all like herbal or like like flavored like liqueurs basically, right? So which work great in cocktails, but historically were like sort of enjoyed on their own, almost as like medicinals. And so like big differentiator over like big mass produced like flavored spirits, and what we do is a lot of like the big production spirits will basically just like purchase in like the flavoring, right? So you purchase it from a company that makes flavoring. It comes in a big liquid jug. It's like super concentrated flavoring, and you add that, and you just have your formula, and you kind of like mix it up in a big mixing vat, and you're done. And that's
not your process,
right? Which is what we don't do. What we do is basically like it's almost like steeping a tea. So it's like an old school method of just like soaking the raw botanicals and the herbs and spices and all that in the brandy, right?
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing when you guys told me. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's super old school, and the distillery, like I visited, it's called Averna Distillery, which is like a big like Amaro brand. They were like purchased by Campari, and when I took a distillery tour there on a return visit to Sicily, I was kind of expecting like big like super sciencey, like almost like lab type like process. They were doing the same thing. They were steeping like in these big like kind of burlap sacks, like the botanicals in it. So I was like, all right, cool. If you guys at your scale can still do this, then then that's definitely the way to go. And so
storytelling, yeah.
So still that way. It's like steeping a tea, but instead of like using heat to like extract the like the flavors and like the medicinal properties from the and the color and all that, you're using the alcohol, which does it all by itself.
Okay.
So it's just you get like a much more natural flavor, right? So
that comes off
you can buy
very well.
You can buy flavoring, but this like soaking method for me is just like superior.
I know. I feel like a freshness when I'm drinking the liquor. It's just like a real raw herb kind of like feel that comes off of it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, and that's definitely what stuck out with me too, because we've all drank a lot of liquor in our lives. That's a fact.
Ferino has some different liquor.
Yeah, and then obviously like you're on basically like bar/distillery row. So I mean, like honestly, like when I had your guys' liquor, I was like, yo, this is different.
This is not
this is different.
$3 plastic bottle of vodka over here. No.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it starts like that if you think about it with the brandy. You could bottle up that brandy and it'd be like.
you guys give it a kiss of love then.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so in regards to the distillery portion of your guys' building, like obviously the distillery's in the back, and you talked about like you're giving tours of that distillery too. Like, why provide that kind of service to people out here? Like, what is your purpose for doing so?
For me, it's like, I don't know, it's the best way to connect with the community, like on a consistent basis. Like we get new people coming in the door all the time. They're from some like half of them are locals. People are coming in visiting from out of town. For me, it's just like the best way to connect with the people that are walking through our door. But also, it's like our products are like new to people. Like there's like our Amaro, our Fernet, like like bartenders know these products, but like your average like person off the street needs to, like we have a lot of education to do. And so for me, like that tour is like a very concentrated way to like help people understand like what these are, and the fact that they've probably already had a lot of these products in a cocktail, but they just didn't know it. It was just like one of the 4 or 5 ingredients or whatever in their cocktail. And so that's why we built like the big old bar, was to showcase how you can use these in a cocktail, and also just to provide that experience. And so like walking them through, how we do it, and this like category of like these spirits, it's new for a lot of people. So we gotta walk them through.
That's and I think that's very like awesome to do, because I don't know, at least to my knowledge, any other distillery that does what you're doing, because I think that's like pretty amazing to let
and
people come into the distillery and actually like give them that kind of knowledge, because I'm one of those masses too that doesn't really know much about like what goes into like a cocktail or anything like that.
And when
so,
you
like,
tell
it's
me
good
the
to know.
stories and I drink it, I feel a stronger connection to my drink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you feel like that bond with the
I'm
drink.
like,
right?
it's like, oh, okay, I know a little something, but I'm a
So I can
connoisseur now.
So I can go out this door and tell somebody, hey, you know what this is?
I know, and everyone's telling me at some point you have to let it go, let other people give the tours and like all that. And I've rejected that so far.
Yeah,
But-
I was
like
just
May.
I was just about to ask that. Like, have you let anybody else do the tour? But
Marcos has done tours. Yeah.
My first ones are so bad. If Joe was there, he'd been like, this guy, like, get him out of here.
As it has to be sometimes.
No, I mean out of necessity. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
like something comes up, or like I'm at my kid's soccer game and like I didn't like the scheduling got off or whatever, and then someone shows up, because that still happens. People show up,
Yeah.
like, oh hey, I'm on a tour. I'm like, oh, not on the schedule, whatever. It's all right. Well, I always make it work, but if I'm not there, I'm not there. So these guys have stepped in.
that's
and that's been awesome. But
No, that's fantastic. Again, like having trust on Marcos to do it, especially what you just said. Like, I'm never going to step down. It's not going to happen. But no, that's really awesome to hear that. And again, like I commend you for doing that. I think that's something great for like the people watching like our podcast and stuff to listen to. Like, there's a distillery out here that'll do this kind of service for you that will.
Yeah, he's got 3 kids. He got a whole life. He's
He's a
like,
machine.
I got to get in there. I'm gonna still get in there, and I'm gonna show you what's up.
He's like, yeah, I'm still going to drop that knowledge on all y'all real quick.
Oh.
No, I was gonna say, just in case if you were gonna go.
Oh no.
Okay, yeah. So in regards to like the liquor, we did see that you.
Let's get back to the
Let's
liquor.
get back to the
Yeah.
liquor.
Can we talk about the liquor?
I feel like,
bottle
isn't this whole conversation about the
Yeah,
liquor?
it is about the
Let's
liquor.
be honest.
Wait, all right. Is it time to
do we bring
pour,
up the
pour
sponsorship
something out
part?
yet, or what? Is
Well,
this-
okay, so we're bringing up the liquor for obviously because we've been talking about it this whole
We've been
time,
talking about
and
that.
I'm sure somebody who looked at the camera is like, "What's that at the bottom of his feet?" So we're gonna bring it up now, and then we'll also, and again, I think we're like halfway through the podcast anyway, so I was like, "Yeah, we'll talk about it now."
The
So yeah.
partnership, sponsorship.
Yeah. So I did
Collaboration.
so I did want to talk about like how obviously we came in contact with each other in the first place because
Thanks to Isaac Sky.
yeah, Isaac / Sky. So shout out to Sky. But we will also say like again, I don't really spend a lot of time like drinking as much as I used to, but occasionally I want a good drink. Like, when I found out about you guys was obviously the
Yeah,
first
when
time
you guys
we met.
gave me that drink, I was like, now I'm a snob. I can't.
No, yeah. He's
There's
just
no
been-
going back.
Just
No.
been fiending for that bottle, but like
A
no,
regular
yeah.
IPA, I can't just hang.
Yeah, like literally, like I think after we met, like I was just telling a bunch of people about you. I was like, "Yo, I heard of Ferino. I know about Ferino." I'm like, "But do you know about Ferino?"
No.
It's like, "But really, do you know?" And I'm like, "Oh man," but yeah. So I mean, obviously, like we talked, we had a conversation, like us two, Jimmy, and of course you guys as well, like about like a partnership / oh my God, I'm blowing a word right here, sponsorship. If y'all want to explain, like to everybody, like what does that entail, like with us together, kind of what we want to do with like,
Within
with each
the
other.
future
Yeah,
and things we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also the drink.
Yeah. Also, yeah. We'll get back to the liquor.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like we'll like you guys have a code Blueprint, then whoever like signs up for a tour stuff, they get like 50% off, and
There
then
you
that's
go.
like it's basically just trying to get those people in the door so they can get that tour with Joe. So then Joe can explain everything that he loves and like
So Joe can make them snobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, that's why I wanted to do this after we spoke about the tour, because that's what this all leads to, is like what we want to offer is like again, like help get y'all into the tour, because I think it's a very knowledgeable thing to know about your liquor, especially because if you live in this town, if you're watching this, like everybody here likes to drink.
Yep.
So again, it's good to just come down. Yeah, bless you.
Bless
And
you.
it's good to come down to a distillery and get that kind of knowledge.
And
that,
a great distillery that has a lot of heart, and
Lot of heart,
a
lot
lot
and
of
soul.
history.
Heart
Like
and soul.
that's a cool like side note when you go into there. When people just, how's your day going? Good. Here's a drink. All right,
Here's a
goodbye. But you have a whole history and a story and like an obvious passion and love for it. So it's awesome that we get to collaborate together
Yeah.
and show this off and be like, hey, come down there.
Yeah,
That's
and then
great.
and then again, we've been wanting to get y'all on the podcast. like a lot sooner than this, but
For-
obviously
yeah, for a long time.
times permit. So again, we're happy to have y'all finally on, and again, bring the liquor down.
Yeah.
here.
So what is that thing
Explain
in
us
your
the bottle.
hands?
again.
Sure. So this is Cafe Note, artist formerly known as Corretto. We changed the name. I can talk about that.
Yeah,
This is
that was
boring,
going to be a
but
question I had.
maybe,
as well.
yeah. It's not that exciting, but so
Sounds sexy, man.
Cafe Note means coffee at night, basically in Italian. So it's just like it's cool. So it's like cocktails, but this is a partnership, and this is really cool. We every chance we get, we try and like collab on stuff, and so this is a very, very cool collab with Coffee Bar Roastery here in town.
Shout out to Coffee Bar.
Well, they're awesome. I love like all the people working there. Also, like
I love that
one of my
place.
favorite like coffee places in town.
Yeah.
So they're great at what they do. They kind of have like an Italian inspiration. Greg over there has kind of like an Italian inspired reason for being as well. And so it's like their beans and our brandy, and kind of made like a love child basically. It's just called Cafe
Salt and
Note.
pepper
So,
action.
yeah, exactly. It's good. We've had a lot of fun with it. It's like a true collaboration, so we're pretty proud of it. But yeah, it's good. We can drink it on its own, make a nice mean coffee
Now
old
Joe
fashioned
was
at the
asking
bar.
for cups early.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
got the cups.
Good. I know.
I got the cups.
I know you brought up
Oh,
the
we got
cups.
it.
I'm like,
We
you're
got-
not
we-
just bringing that bottle in
we
here
got those-
not to drink
We got
it.
those, we got those fancy cups.
Go for it. Yeah, y'all probably better at serving than we are, because I'm probably gonna spill.
Yeah, I'm gonna let the
Marco's like, I'll do
let-
this.
I'm gonna let the
Master.
professional do
Master.
it. Yeah.
He's like,
Okay.
I just speak about the history.
So you did bring it up that you did change the name, and that was a question I did have too, because I saw it on Instagram. I'm like, oh, you changed the name, and I have, I still have the other bottle with the old name, and I was like, this is special.
That's like a Supreme.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Joe is wearing the only like Ferino hat and like ever. That's the only hat that's in the market. I'm like, dude, you
One of
gotta
a
auction
kind.
this off.
Yeah.
Like that's
One of a
Supreme.
kind. Nobody wants this dirty ass hat.
No. I mean, I was, yeah. So
give it 10, 15 years. Come up with a great story. Somebody's gonna buy it.
yeah. You could put it like on display, and somebody's like, I want to auction that hat real quick. Like, how much you want? And you could be like, stored up in the thousands. Somebody will do it. Ooh. Justin's like, I want some of that. He's like, hey.
He's like,
Don't forget
hey.
about me. I mean, I brought 5 cups for a reason. I was
Yeah.
like, he's included in this. So we're just let's cheers. Well, obviously we got to find the cap for that before that goes somewhere.
Oh yeah, I dropped it.
Yeah, but
doing the cheers right
cheers,
now.
y'all. Salute. Cheers. Salute. Salute. Cheers, Justin. Yep.
Cheers, Justin.
Oh my God, there it is. Whew. There it is. That coffee taste. See, that's what I'm talking about.
I love coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like when we last had a conversation about this, I was like, yo, this is by far the best like coffee tasting liquor I've had, because for the most part, every time I've had it, it doesn't really taste like coffee.
Yeah.
Like it's like there's a coffee taste in there, but it's not as like, I'm trying to like dissect a fucking thing right now, and it's not gonna happen.
It's not.
It's more of like an espresso shot.
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
say. It
Yeah,
has
it
that
is
coffee
like an
flavor,
espresso
but like
shot.
you're getting that bitterness from that bean because like
Is roast
like
the right word? I don't know.
Yeah, you could say like because we get our bean. What they roast the beans and we get the beans 2 days after they roast them.
One
day.
Oh,
well, we get it
snap.
right away, but I let it rest for like a day. Yeah.
So it's like you still get that toastiness from like if you ever see like how they like
It's like a dark roast. Isn't it?
roasting
like light
beans.
roast.
Yeah.
Okay, dark roast. Yeah.
If you ever see like how they roast beans, it's kind of crazy. Like my homie Vince at the Hub, he let me like watch him one day. He's like, yeah, like this is how it works. They're like the beans are yellowish green, and then it basically just toasted to like it's because this technology has like graphs and stuff. I'm like, it's like a doctor's office. Like I don't even know what's going on.
There's graphs.
Yeah, they got like
Wow.
graphs and like
Got
next to the
lasers in there?
machine.
Whoa.
I was just like, what is going
I
on?
actually, you know what? I have seen this because when I went to Hawaii, like I think I went to like a coffee distillery or something. They were just going through the
Roastery,
beans.
yeah.
Roastery. There we go. Distillery. Yeah, they were going through a roastery. Yeah, they had like machines and stuff, and I was like, I think I thought the same thing too. I was like, yeah, graphs to this shit. I was like, I thought
Yeah,
this was all like machine, like somebody just grading in the back, just busting their ass off at the end. I'm like, yo, man, like what is going
I
on?
want some graphs.
Yeah, I'll give you some graph.
I feel like I'm in the Stone Age.
I know,
Get
it's
him some lasers,
It's like, some lasers.
Some
Just get it-
distillery graphs.
He's like, yeah, it's like I need a distillery grab. So yeah, so in regards to like the name, so you, I guess what was the reason for that name change?
So this for us, just the response that we're getting and the partnership with Coffee Bar, like this for us is like potentially going to be like our flagship, you know. And so to do that, and this is just business stuff, right? So there's there's a couple distilleries in the United States that were using that word Coretto, and they don't have a trademark. And so I was basically like, but I wanted a trademark. I want something we can own, that we can take.
So you're kind of jumping ahead of that possible.
Yeah, I know, and I've had some people be like, "Oh, you're being like a little too cautious there, Joe. Like, go for it." But I have really big plans for it, so I was like, I'm gonna get ahead of this thing and try and create something like a trademark. Which speaking of which, I gotta get on it, and get that thing filed. But yeah, no, this is just me being a little extra cautious.
Hey, you know what? I mean, I think we're like one of the people are gonna tell you like, I think it's good that you're jumping in front of this, just because like I think you like it literally sounds like you just want something that's truly your own. And you're gonna you're gonna trademark that.
Yeah, something I can pass down. I mean, it's fine. Probably zero of my kids are gonna want to be in the distillery business.
It's probably just gonna be that one kid.
They probably
but I'm okay with that. It's like this is like my story. They're gonna write their own story. That's fine. But if they so choose, I would love to have something that they can like grab and run with.
They're like, hey, yo, Dad made this. Like that's right.
Have a baseline.
Yeah. Be awesome because my kids are awesome, and, I want to show them what it looks like. Yeah.
Well, they'll listen to this in like 10 years and be like, Dad, you're on a podcast.
Well, this thing's been not easy, so like I want to, God, if nothing else, I want to show them what it looks like to like stick with something that's hard. And like just do it to as long as I can,
best of your ability,
to the best of my ability, and like what happens. I'm pushing to this thing, and it's good, and things are going like really well. It's not just like all struggle, but just like any business that you start, it's a roller coaster, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like day to day.
You start
like literally, like it's like yesterday. I'm like, oh, this like awesome thing happened, and I feel like I'm on top of the world, and then reality sets in, and like 6 more things happen the next day. They're like, oh, just kidding.
You're in your pit.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, I got so excited there. But it's good. All in all, I'm really happy I went down this path, and. Man, it's just, I mean, wouldn't be sitting here talking with you guys. You guys are awesome.
Hey, we wouldn't be here talking to y'all if we haven't been doing weird.
You just got to get out and do stuff. You got to get out and do stuff, connect with people, try and do something authentic, true to yourself, and you'll probably stumble into some pretty cool cats along the way.
That's an amazing, powerful thing about just like sticking with something that you have like a lot of heart in, and even when it's hard, it's just like, there's a lot of times that are worth it. There's a lot of times that are extremely like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, but like just to see the changes.
Yeah.
Just go through it, and it's like, well, I want to trade it, man.
There's like the truth where it's like most people like that try something will quit at just before it's about to get good, and that's true, but. At the same time, sometimes you just gotta quit, and like so. It's
examples.
Like deciding.
Wise words from Joe.
Deciding the difference between the two is really, really hard, right? I mean, there's like some people in certain situations, including myself. It's like you just gotta walk. It's time. It's time to walk away. Like
I feel like intuition kicks in at that point. I like
that's something that you feel in your gut.
I mean, I'm a little hokey pokey, but like. I believe like when you need to quit something, like life will tell you that. Yeah. In multiple ways, and not just like, hey, you probably should be doing it.
It'll just keep hammering at you, like, hey, why are you still doing this?
You'll feel in the pit of your soul.
Yeah, for sure. And I've done that a couple times in my life. Walked away from something. You got the.
But there's no shame in that,
not at all.
You just got to be able to know that you're gonna bounce back. Like that it's just a little step. Little fork in the road that you just gotta maneuver and just get back.
Yeah, walking away from something is still a decision. You decide to walk away from something and towards something else. That's fine, but
you gain knowledge from that. You use it on your next venture.
But I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. Like I want to push this thing through, and like just so many good things are happening that like the day-to-day struggles are like still worth it. So
I was about to say you literally just said you weren't ready to step off. I'm like, I mean, you ain't done. You still.
I've seen this man go through like every emotion in like one day.
Yeah.
Like he'll come in sometimes like super stoked. It's like, yeah, this and that. And then he'll like walk back from the distillery. He's just like quiet and like And I'm like, dude, what's going on? And then like 2 hours later, he's like, all right, we're good. We're
Yeah.
good. We're
I'm back. That's right. I'm back.
That is, yeah.
Like seeing him go through those stages had like kind of like helped me too, because like
You're like I'm never starting a business.
yeah. No, you know how many times this guy
He's
says
like, I
like,
look at Joe. I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
this guy's wanting me to like buy his bar of him for like a year now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, let's do a deal, man.
Yeah, well, you know what? No, yeah, I got trouble.
You don't want that
Internally, there's a
responsibility?
deal going on, and somebody's gonna own the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like he's like when I got in, it was just like I was like, what's going on, and like what, like how's it going? And he was struggling, but then now it's like he's like he says, like where you have a momentum, like it's
Catching fire.
Yeah, it's catching fire, and then he always says he's like you got to ride that momentum as long as you can,
Yep.
and then when it like dies out, you just got to build up some more.
Yep.
Like there's no other way. Like I've seen like how hard it is to like keep a business going, especially like post COVID. I'm like, 'cause I used to work at the Brazilian steakhouse before that, and they opened up right before pre-COVID. And they're still there. Like everyone said, that was like the cursed building. Like no restaurant's been there more than like
True.
That is
three-
actually very true.
yeah,
I
like-
have seen that building become like restaurant to restaurant to restaurant, or
Yeah.
whatever the heck it was before.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, I'm surprised it's still there too.
Yeah, and then, like so many like I was just reading today in the Reno Gazette Journal. Shout out to local newspaper.
Shout out to local newspaper.
They still charge to subscribe though. Like, why do I need to know about local? I need to know about my local news, guys.
Pay the money. Pay the money.
But no, and then they were talking about how like COVID had affected like all these businesses, and I said like 120 plus businesses had been closed down due to COVID, and like seeing all these places like shut down and like all these industry workers like lose their job, do this. It kind of like the people that stuck through it. Now we know like okay, these are the people that actually care about the quality of like what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like same with Joe, same with like all the breweries and like all the places on 4th Street and like in Midtown, like the people that like started it right before COVID, that 2019 era, like they like kudos to them. Like they went through that shit. They got through that grind.
Yeah, can we
And-
talk about 4th Street?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about 4th Street.
Okay,
I was
4th
right into
Street.
this conversation.
I love 4th Street one because it's like it's feral. Like we do fit the name. Like it's 4th Street is feral.
Oh, yeah.
I have had my car broken into and my laptop stolen, but
My
it is
God,
okay.
man.
It was an interesting one. I don't know. It's really developing. I think it's something that when I do talk to like a lot of friends that are in the industry, they're like, they kind of say Midtown's dying, but it's not really. It's like it's just changed like clientele. Like Midtown is like Midtown, and then we have to develop our own identity on
Yeah.
4th Street. And shout out to Will from Black Rabbit. Like he's put in some work there, like, and he's really trying to get that thing going. And he's a dope dude. I love that man.
Yeah, shout out to Will from Black Rabbit,
Shout
man.
out to
Shout out
Will.
to
Yeah, love you, Will.
Yeah, and like all the other businesses too. I think it kind of started off with
Piper's doubling down.
yeah, Piper. Wait,
Dope.
should we even say that?
What? No, okay.
Yeah,
I won't say it.
Scratch that.
Scratch that.
That never happened.
That's
All I know-
good. No, but no, there's
some big things happening.
There's good things happening. There's a lot of investment going on 4th Street, which is good.
Yeah.
So
There's about to be some apartment buildings next to Ferino
yeah, in our back alley.
in our back alley. Well, dude, that alley,
Oh,
we
for
just
real?
need a fence. Yeah, like the
Yeah,
that,
I've- maybe
that
it's been
little
a minute since I've
convenience
driven by
store right
that.
there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
they're
what
building
you're
that.
talking
They're
about.
building that one now.
At 420 Valley Street.
Yeah, 420 Valley.
Road.
Yeah.
Oh man, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, you know, there's been a lot of like things being torn down. So
Well, yeah, and then they're also
replaced
they
apartments.
just broke ground on the ballpark apartments across from the Aces Stadium.
Yeah.
They're starting to build that
Big-
foundation.
big facility.
Yeah,
there.
20. I think it said
Finally?
2020, spring of 2024.
Yeah, that lot's
2024,
been
yeah.
empty for a minute.
It's
right?
finally happening.
Yeah.
It's finally
It's gonna
happening.
happen.
Yeah,
But
dude, that's like
no, there are some quick history on 4th Street there.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
obviously, it's like the old Lincoln Highway, right? So it was like before 80. This was the way that you got to the ocean, to the West Coast and whatnot. But what happened was like after that, it was actually the old Italian neighborhood. Reno actually had like an Italian neighborhood or whatever it was, and that was like right there along 4th Street. This is where all the Italian families that emigrated. And what happened was the convention center was slated to be built there. And so they basically, like the city and everyone like got together and like bought out everyone's homes in that neighborhood because they were like, this is where it's going, and like they like basically like bought everyone's homes, and everyone scattered. So everyone from that neighborhood like scattered all over the place. And then at the 11th hour, they like changed their mind. So after they had moved everyone out of the neighborhood,
Oh, wow.
everyone out of their homes, and this is the reason why 4th Street became 4th Street because it used to be like a more like a lively like actual like neighborhood where people lived and like there were businesses and whatnot, and it basically got torn up, and then in the aftermath of that, obviously that's just like gonna decimate like a neighborhood. So and then it just became like like auto body shops and like industrial and like all that, and that's and then and everything else and
All the other stuff.
and everything else.
and all
Whoa, a cabaret every now and then.
and the history, and everyone knows that, and so like that's part of our challenge and our motivation is to like invite locals who know the history of 4th Street to be like, come on back, give us a chance.
Yeah.
Come see what we got going on.
Yeah.
And it is happening, and it's happening slowly. Now, folks from out of town, like from the Bay Area, they come in, they're like, this is great, this is awesome. Like then, and they're like they don't even like bat an eye.
Yeah.
The fact that there's a shelter down there, whatever. Like, this is the brewery district, whatever. This is cool.
Unless they're in Ferino and they're talking to a local and they're like, yo, why y'all here?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I still get that like, it's 4th Street. I'm like, dude, come on, it's not that bad.
But Ferino, keep Ferino fair. Like I went into it with eyes wide open. Like I knew where we were. I understood. Like and I was not the one like going down there and like with pitchforks being like, get the homeless shelter out of here. No, like I know where I chose to be. This is where like we are where we are. And so we want to we're just a part of that fabric, part of the neighborhood.
No, and I think that's very like special to do because us locals, everyone who's watching is local knows all about 4th Street. Yep. But I mean like when I first started working, I'm like on 4th Street, I was like,
I mean, tough.
Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough one. But I'm like, but then when you step in there, you're like, you know what? This don't feel like 4th Street. But I'm like, but at the same time, like it does have that grit of 4th Street, but like it's a different 4th Street. Like especially like as the years have gone on. Yeah, it's like
you still start to see like businesses. Like it started at like the Stella with Piper.
Yeah.
It was the old Lincoln Lounge.
Yeah.
People start with the depot.
The depot, like that was the old train station. Like shout out to Coco. She's the GM over there. She's killed. She's been there for like 5 years. She's awesome. She's really like the person that's like really stepped that place up, I think.
The remodel.
The remodel and all that.
That became the new anchor, and like as of right now, we're like the other anchor on the other side. I would like to see that change. But it's starting to fill in. So there's just like more and more stuff in between. Like Louis, and then like us, which is it's just a matter of like. Just gotta hang on.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
We're hanging on. We're hanging. We
I will say a bold thing right now, Joe. I do think we have a better pecan punch than Louis Bass.
Whoa, easy.
I think. Hey, I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm not taking shots. I'm saying, hey, respect to the Louis Bass for the pecan punch, but I gotta say right now, I think we got a better like pecan punch. It's just like
I'm not gonna argue with you. So.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's like it's So from there, Joe, like. I still am like amazed by like how far it's progressed in that year, 4th Street and the brewing district, because not a lot of people realize like we have like a glass place on there that makes custom glass, furniture store. Yep. What else is there's some other dope things. Oh, like 4th Street Bar, they're the oldest bar in like Nevada, in Reno. They have blueprints from 1905, I think, and they still have like underground tunnels that like if you go there and you see the owner there, be like, hey, like let me see the Prohibition tunnels. Because that's like what basically like Nevada was like. The average like liquor law hasn't changed here since like 1950. Like we were all about like that's why there's such a big Italian community here, especially like and it's crazy to think like the history of like Reno in total.
What exactly are you saying?
I was like,
what was that Italian comment? What was that?
Well, no, the Italians like they like got all the boozing. I'm gonna be real. Yeah, and like the casinos still run this town though.
Casinos still run this town.
Enterprising bunch. Enterprising bunch for sure.
No, they're smart bunch, dude. They like.
And then the original Reno Brewing Company was just down the street on 4th Street, and that's a building that they're trying to fix up. It's been
which one is it?
It's kind of like this dome shaped building, just a few blocks east of us, couple blocks east of us.
Oh, I think I know.
Is that like
it's like super like dated at this point, but there's been an ownership transfer, long kind of sad story a little bit.
Is
about
it like
that,
past the bridge?
Just
past the bridge.
Just past it, yeah. On the other side.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, like yeah, this was like like Reno Brewing Company, like pre-prohibition or like right around then. So yeah, no, like there's like legit history on 4th Street of like making alcohol. But that's kind of what we pride ourselves on a little bit, is like we're like now like a manufacturing district, right? We make things there, and that's part of what we did with the space. Was like I wanted to, it was like metal and wood, and like kind of like wanted to embrace that kind of like manufacturing like side of like what we are, with some like modern touches. We put the mural in, which is very beautiful. Some shout out to Summer Orr. I think she skipped town, but her legacy will live on. Like she was a local tattoo artist, and like it was her first mural.
Oh,
it was
wow.
massive mural inside of our space, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's like the process of what you do.
Art. We're very. I don't know. I feel like our thing like more and more is like art.
Oh yeah, we just we started cleaning out upstairs and stuff, and we found so many. So those pieces right behind the stage, that's from Nathaniel Benjamin. Alana was telling me that those are unfinished pieces.
Which part?
The ones like right next to the stage.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
right behind. Yeah, like so those are like
Nathaniel
unfinished.
Benjamin.
Yeah, Nathaniel Benjamin.
Nathaniel Benjamin, you have several pieces of art at our space that you left there, which we're very appreciative of. You're welcome to them. And
They will be right there.
If
not using those pieces.
otherwise we'll take very good care of them because they're beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, like we just started finding the amount of things we found upstairs. I'm like, dude, this is rad. Like we find like mirrors, and then we find like paintings. We find like old flyers from when the place first opened. It was just I don't even know how to describe it.
So are y'all planning to do something with the upstairs section? Or?
Yeah, so that's actually I think we should point that out. So next month on the 27th with K-Wink, we're gonna do it's a fundraiser for the Reno Burrito Project, because it's trying to help them figure out a space and stuff.
Okay.
And then we're actually gonna do a boiler room set. Like live stream it, and then get it's like 6 local DJs.
Oh,
I think I've been my DJ. I'm not sure. I'm really still like there, like if I want to or not.
Oh, what?
But yeah, so we're gonna do basically like a 12, not like a 12-hour set, but like a 8-hour set of like all the DJs, and essentially just like raise the money for them, but also give awareness to like K-Wink. Shout out to Tom. He's the one that started that. I assume you guys know K-Wink, right? They're on next to the Holland Project.
Can I send the names that I know?
Yeah, 97.7. 97.7. That's the radio station. Yeah, those guys are.
You're right.
Those guys are tight. Well, it's just Tom. Tom's just like awesome. But yeah, we're gonna partner up with that, and eventually like kind of get the money for Blaze and the Reno Burrito Project. I assume you guys know them.
Yep.
Because they were they just got their 501(c) to be a nonprofit. So they're tight. So now they're official now. They're like,
So that's dope. Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
And then shout out to
Yeah.
Laughing Planet, because they got
Shout out
Laughing Planet
as
for
well.
the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but eventually they want to move into their own space, and like I just
right.
want to bring awareness to that. Like
That's dope.
it's crazy. You ever hear his story? Like how
No,
he started?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've known about the Reno Burrito Project for a minute, but I didn't know that they were at this phase. I thought they were already on this phase. Maybe I'm just tripping.
No, like they were
Yeah.
working on it like the
Okay.
last year to get it like official and stuff. But yeah, dude.
Oh, shout out to Reno Burrito Project, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm happy to see that, because, again, I know I've seen them around a lot, and wow, yeah, good for them.
But like nothing can bring people together like a
Yeah.
burrito.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it's
Like
just
drunk,
shout out to-
sober, high. Like a
Absolutely.
burrito is the perfect for any moment. Let's be
Absolutely.
honest.
Hey, I'm a big
It's the greatest
spokesperson for handheld foods, and a burrito is just fantastic.
Well,
So you just can't go wrong.
Also, like, there's a lack of like simplicity in people's even when they want to do good in the world.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the most like tangible, like simple, and like amazing concept. Like burritos, there's a lot of food there. You
I
put
agree.
it in a nice little package,
Yep.
and like you can help people.
Yeah, and honestly, like
Universal.
especially
It's
for
go-
us,
go hand 'em out, you know?
Yeah, especially for us being like a college town. Like I could tell you right now, a handheld food goes a long way for a college student, because they're
Yeah.
always moving. They're always going, hey, just here, pay, grab, go. Just that's all you
Efficiency.
need. Yeah, burrito was a staple. Back when I was going to school too, man, burrito was life saving thing, man. Yeah, that's all you needed.
In
man.
this
Yeah.
case, it literally is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
In this case, it
Yeah,
literally is.
that's
So,
what
but
they're
that's
doing,
cool
yeah.
that they're all having a fundraiser, for the Reno Burrito Project to.
Yeah, I
get
feel
that
like
going.
whenever I like say stuff like this, Joe's like, "Wait, what's happening now?" Like
He's like, "Wait, we're doing
he's
this?"
Oh,
like-
I never know exactly.
He
what
never,
it is.
I just tell him like I'm gonna be here late, like just trust him. Like the door's gonna be right, everything's gonna be good.
So I mean, obviously, like I'm assuming like your guys' communication is really, really good. Like, do y'all ever like obviously like y'all always like talk about like what you're gonna do inside Ferino. Like, what other upcoming like stuff do you have like besides that fundraiser?
So
If
pretty.
you want to share.
Well, I mean, nothing like pretty much lined up for the summer yet. Like we're
Okay.
still because we just opened up Leche de Luna, our non-alcoholic apothecary.
Oh, I did see
So
that,
basically, like
Well,
Jess.
it's Jess's.
Yeah,
but
so Jess is dude. She's rad. She's awesome. She's actually the one that got us that fundraiser last week.
Okay.
And I kind of let her take over the calendar for this month. She's like learning not to like book everything every weekend because then you start to like get tired, man. You want like a weekend off.
book everything every weekend.
Yeah.
Hustle, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. But then,
Let's do it. Thumbs up. Hustle.
yeah, no. So Jess opened that up. So that's like a really big one. She's like because she just started the business. It was crazy because I came into work one day in like December. I think it was during Miracle, and I was like, I was just thinking about it because Joe wanted to do coffee in that little coffee bar area.
Yeah, I was about to mention, like, I remember we talked about it.
So
Yeah,
she
yeah, yeah.
took that little area and she wanted like Joe wanted to do coffee to like start off with, but I'm like,
We
so,
will.
like,
We still will eventually.
yeah, eventually, like we'll get there, but like.
So is that going to be her?
So
quarters
no,
still,
she already
or-
has it. She's
it
already
is.
set up.
Oh,
She's
so-
good.
okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool,
she's
cool.
open the same hours we are. Like
Oh.
sometimes a little bit later because she gets like all that.
It's like legit apothecary vibes now. There's like little vials with like a
Let's go.
like
Yeah.
a lizard, like a salamander,
Oh wow.
Yo, we
and,
should
and
get
like
her
a
on
little
the podcast,
vial.
bro.
Like,
No, yeah, no, get Jess on here.
dope.
She'll talk about it all
Oh,
day.
I would love to talk
Send
about
in the
that.
word.
Yeah, send in the
Yeah.
word. Yeah, have her reach out to me or Stu. Yeah.
She's blowing up like
Yeah, I would
as
love,
we speak.
I
right
would
now,
love
yeah.
to have her on here. That'd be so dope. Yeah, that sounds amazing.
But she actually makes like
Stop by.
non-alcoholic drinks because it's like you get into. I've seen it a lot when you work at just a bar, like just cocktails only. Like you get the couple, like where one's not drinking and one has to drive. It's like, well, Jess can make you a drink that's still gonna make you feel good, and she makes those drink like she's working in like a cocktail bar. I was like talking about this with my coworker the other day, and she was just like, yeah, like Jess, I've seen like how she makes it. She makes it like it's a cocktail, but with non-alcoholic ingredients. She does like monk fruit, and then she does a lot of like medicinal herbs in it too. She even has an horchata. She has like a macachata. It's with the hemp milk.
Chill on that.
That's really
Stop.
good.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. No, yeah. So she's just
man.
doing awesome. So that's like
she's on the pulse. Like,
Yeah.
she's everyone's
Wow.
excited about what she's doing, and we're happy to support her. So
and-
she's
and-
basically operating like out of Ferino. We're like her space,
And she's been part of
yeah.
your guys' team for a while too.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
She
She was
got on in
bartending, yeah.
December, and then because she's been talking about starting up something like that, and then
Wow.
I just came to Joe. I'm like, Joe, like Jess wants to open up tea shop, and then literally walked away, and then eventually they like talked for a little bit, and then they got to go.
Well, her whole thing is like using like medicinal herbs and like non-alcoholic stuff, and like that was the origin story of like our products was like medicine.
Uh-huh.
Like the
Yeah.
old Italian monks like grab the herbs and botanicals and they infuse them with alcohol. But the origin was to get people to take their medicine. So like I was like, oh my god, this is like a match made in heaven. It was like absolutely perfect, and like. It's a beautiful thing. Like people, like Marcos was saying, people want to go out, and not everybody drinks alcohol, and that's great. That's fine, And it's like you go to a bar and you ask for like a non-alcoholic drink, and most bars you're gonna get something terrible.
Yeah.
It's gonna be syrupy, sweet. Now it's like she's there, and like they can have something that is the best non-alcoholic cocktail
Smooth, yeah.
imaginable.
So
They
again,
can
if
still
y'all
have a good thing,
Yeah, so again, if y'all listen, like Ferino's got a non-alcoholic bar there too. If you don't like alcoholic beverages,
Yeah.
they got that on there.
We got
too,
something-
So.
we got
We
something
got
for
something for everybody.
everybody.
Got something for
Yeah.
everybody.
With the same heart and craftsmanship.
Yeah, with the same,
100%.
the same soul.
Number one rule of business: don't try and be everything for everybody. But we got something for everybody. So.
But in your
But
case,
you
it's
brought
working
other
out.
people.
When
It's
working
not
out.
just you.
Rule number
yeah.
2, I think, is don't listen to don't listen to anybody.
listen to
So
certain-
just do
Right?
your
On
thing,
wax.
you know.
On wax
Just
on
do
that
it
one.
on wax, yeah, on wax.
Don't listen to it.
Yeah. So again, going off what just said, like, like this is like a person that's been a part of your team, and you
Yeah.
guys have given her the opportunity to
Well, I-
open up her own thing, which is fantastic.
100%.
I love
I
that.
encourage
Well,
that.
Joe has like a
entrepreneurship. I want every single person on our team. If I were to like look for like one quality of every single person that we bring on, it'd be like they want to like do something on their own eventually, whatever it is, and I want to
love that.
support that, right? So
Yeah, that makes so much sense what you're
Marcos
trying
is
to-
working on stuff. He's got something on the side. In
Yeah, you
in
can't be held
theory,
down. I can see
Yeah,
it.
I
You
was-
can't-
in theory, he's gonna
He
launch
looks like a marksman.
a bitters line. He's working on that, but also like I mean, he's obviously someone who's gonna be running his own show one day, and like I think a lot of like bar owners, business owners, like are trying to keep their people forever, and I'm not trying to do that. I want to keep them for as long as I can.
Yeah,
because
they're
like
good for you, too,
because
yeah. Helping
because it's good where we're trying to build something. But at the end of the day, I want everyone to realize their own full potential.
No, and that's really good to see, like, on my end too, because like I've had a lot of jobs. I've had a lot of jobs. You've had a lot of jobs. We've had a lot of jobs in our lives, and we've never I've never encountered like having a boss that's like, hey, it's gonna tell you like, hey, like, you're working for me, but I'm gonna support you in whatever you want to do. Like, nobody really ever just says that to anybody.
Nobody.
And I think there should be more. It should be more. There should be more like bosses like yourself that just could just say that to their employees, like, hey, I would love to keep you forever, but I'm not gonna.
Well, I could be a jerk sometimes too, but I get moody, But
as a human does.
But no,
we're all human beings here.
But because like we've got multiple things going on under one roof, and that's what I want to keep doing. It's like we make things here. You can come in here and not just be a bartender, but you can learn how bartenders are like slinging alcohol all over the place, but very few of them know how any of the products are made that they're serving to their guests, right? Like in one space, in the space that we have, you can educate yourself like firsthand on how to make things and all of the things, and like from the very first step all the way until you serve that drink, you can have a deep understanding of where that comes from, and you can pass that on to a customer, and like that's hospitality, that's good service.
Yeah, because Marcos doesn't feel like a bartender. He feels like more than that. He feels like running this thing with you. Like
it's like a smart. He has a startup mentality. Like it's great because he worked for Google. He was there and like.
You went there.
Yeah, I went there. I always say that. I always have to bring up this man works for Google.
Joe's like, I don't want nobody to know.
But then like it's like working because I've always worked in like mom and pop shops, like especially because I'm from Dayton, so I always knew the owner, whoever I worked for. Like
Dayton's really small.
Yeah, Dayton's really small. And it's kind of like nice to go because like I know I could definitely go to like a corporation and work as a bartender over there. But that wouldn't be fun. Like for some reason, I really do like the struggle of this right now. It's kind of fun. Like there's the struggle of like, okay, like now I have to figure out a way, but it's making like
because you're not trapped in a ball.
Yeah,
and you grow with the people around you.
You're like in a ball of Play-Doh that's constantly expanding.
Yeah, add that maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
sculpt on the left. I'm gonna sculpt on the right too. Dude.
You like with him, like he's having like a boss like that. I haven't had a boss like him since I have been in Dayton. And especially like with him to like trust me, I'm like, wait, you trust me? Like it's weird. Like usually bosses are like, oh no, like don't. It's like what? Like let's get it going. Like he always says, like, dude, this should have been made yesterday. Like he always tells me that he's like, we should have had this done.
I mean, it literally feels like you're his right hand man. I mean, look, you're here on this podcast with him, bro.
Yeah,
Look at that.
I always say like he always like, oh, this is our bar manager. I'm like, I wouldn't say bar manager. I just do a lot of things for Joe.
I'm just Marcos.
And he takes care of me. Yeah.
So don't call me bar manager. I'm Marcos.
Yeah.
That's true. That's fantastic.
Joe every time.
Oh boy.
No, I appreciate the dynamic so much because it's like because you see so many instances, especially like in this town how it used to be before all the COVID stuff. It was just being like, you're here, I'm here, we don't talk, kind of thing. And then it's like it's so refreshing to see like you guys are trying to build a community of people who are allowed to do their own things, and we will support you in doing your own things. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's also like about education as well, because like the more I've like learned about Amaros and like spirits in general, I've got into like my own like history of like my culture. Like that's when I started like learn more about like tequila, like how's it made. Like there's so much stuff out there that like is bad for the environment and like not like sustainable. That like it's I don't like it. Like the way that alcohol is going is good, but it's also like now you see like Tito's and all them like blowing up these mass producers. It's like they're actually not even making like a good product too. Like it's literally just like they say it's gluten free, but like all vodka is gluten free.
Whoa, strong.
hey, I'm saying like, but it's like
you're right.
Yeah, but it's like it's just going to like
you're getting nerdy, you know. You're getting
nerdy. I will get nerdy.
No, get nerdy because I think that's the
insight curiosity.
Yeah, and also I think any craftsman or any like artist that gets nerdy about stuff like that, and I think like being able to
that gives me joy. Yeah, when somebody gets nerdy about something, I'm like, yes,
get nerdy. Take the floor, Marcus.
We're a whole house for a whole house full of nerds.
Yeah, like all of us, like the crew that we have, like now, like everyone's deep into like something. Like we got Taylor in the back; he knows when to nerd out, and like he likes perfecting things. And like Joe, I just asked him. We just start. Sometimes we'll just start going off on like alcohol. We're like, okay, this, and we're like, wait, let's bring this back. And it's nice because like the history of alcohol is like awesome. But now I'm like seeing that like transition where it's like, how do we be more environmental friendly? But it's like we can't because like COVID. And then you have the whole situation. I've been telling this man, I'm like, how do I talk to these distributors to like return their glass bottles? Like I throw away so many glass bottles, like all all my shifts, and I'm like, how can I reuse these?
Yeah,
like,
how do you like recycle them? How to reuse them?
And there's no
There's no proper.
There has to be
There's
like.
no system for this. We're gonna start taking and reusing our bottles. People can return them to us. But
yeah, I was about
Like
to
a
say,
bottle
yeah, I was
deposit?
start doing
there's
that,
a
yeah.
massive amount of waste. He's
Yeah.
he's like one of the tequila
that
producers
might-
that we have. Marcos wants to send the bottle, offer the bottles back to them. It was like, with the cost of shipping them back to Mexico.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
why
whatever
can't that
it's-
be like a tax-free thing or like
I
some
agree.
free? It's like
I mean,
I
honestly,
agree.
yeah, I agree with you too. That should be
It's
something
just-
that should throwing it. We're just throwing it out there in the air right now. Like somebody
Yeah.
do something.
Yeah, exactly.
somebody help
yeah,
us out. Don't make it so damn expensive for like us to be green.
Yeah,
Like I'm
come
trying
on.
to live past 50. You
Well,
know?
and right now in the industry, the hardest part about the liquor industry right now is bottles.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get them, and they're like 3 times as expensive as
Because
they used to
of-
be.
yeah.
all this stuff, right? All
Yeah.
the supply chain, all that nonsense or whatever. But
I
but
mean, yeah, I
but-
didn't even think about that.
But
That's
because of
great.
that, now you're everyone's being like, wow, we need to hold on to these bottles and reuse them over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, but it was never the case until no one's ever thought about it until now.
Well, it's
'cause
American culture
it was
too.
just
Just think
like,
about it.
you
Like,
know.
Yeah.
we're just wasteful people.
Yeah,
So-
and then the only time we decided improve on the waste is when our backs are against the wall.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, oh, we're destroying something. Oh shit. Let's-
It's a problem now.
oh yeah,
Well, yeah.
let's find a different way. Now that we're
Like
right
I
here.
said.
in
Well,
this corner.
yeah. When
Like
it-
Joe said, it's not a problem until it's a
Yeah,
problem.
until it's a
Well,
problem. Which I mean, ironically,
until it hits
has
your
become a problem.
pocketbook, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happens, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh,
We need to fix
We should
that.
do something about that, yeah.
So again, speaking on the bottle part, obviously you've started to recycle, or are you starting?
Yeah. So I've always tried to especially because we do go through our cocktail menus based on our products, this and that. So it's we do know we do wash the bottles and we reuse them. Like when it comes to those tequila bottles and stuff, though, I'm like, all right, these are just water pitchers now. Just fill up a bunch before your shift. So then if somebody asks for water, you just hand them a cup and
it's pretty dope.
it makes it easier. And
Yeah.
they steal a bottle, that's cool. I'm not saying steal bottles. I'm not
we're not
promoting that.
throwing it out there.
But it's
Somebody
just
puts it to use.
trying to figure out a way to reuse those. Because some bottles, I'm like, they're good. They're good for the well, geeking out about how your alcohol, when it comes to batches and stuff, it's perfect. I can reuse it. But some of them, I'm like, what am I do with this freaking 1.5 liter bottle of glass?
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
gotta find something.
start making decorations. and
But
stuff.
again, if the cost for returning a bottle isn't so expensive, it's going to be happening.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
There's money to be made.
There's
Yeah,
definitely
I-
money to be made.
trust
But
me.
so is that something that you guys are planning forward? Let's just say for example, somebody buys one of your bottles. Would you offer that service of hey,
Yeah, a bottle deposit, pretty
come-
much.
yeah,
Just,
or
bring the bottle back.
did a discount on your next bottle, that kind of thing.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Absolutely.
These guys.
Well, and also I'm thinking if this is a real thing, we have all these bottles, why don't we just I don't know, offer just put a big box of bottles, set them outside, people can take them,
Whoa, then we start getting homeless
know.
people taking the bottles, and
That's
then,
true.
and then they're just gonna be oh, this homeless person stabbed this homeless person. It's
Yeah.
with what? This bottle.
And then
And where
you're
did
gonna
this
be
bottle
like,
come
yeah,
from?
what if
All right,
I-
well,
Yeah.
figure it out.
Well, I mean, you could always again maybe start a bottle donating service because some people may
Yeah.
need a bottle for a plant,
Yeah.
or just random pictures somewhere. I think that'd be kind of a cool idea. We're throwing
Yeah.
ideas out here.
Or a massive artistic project.
That's
Well,
true,
hey,
yeah.
so I'm saying be prepared for our
We could get
Christmas
all-
tree
we
next
could
year.
get- We could get
Or-
all the bars in town, start collecting bottles
No,
and
just
make
make the glass house from 13 Ghosts.
No, they
Well,
could easily just break the glass and make it into the kumite.
Wait, why don't we reach out to the city? We do a massive, a massive Burning Man install with the bottles.
Well, I mean, the city doesn't really like Burning Man in general, so
Yeah, they don't
That's
like
not
Eh,
it's a love hate.
yeah, it is love hate. They're bringing the people to spend money, but they also leave a mess.
Well, you've got the whale.
Yeah, but they dude, you know how many times they fixed that?
it.
They fixed it a bunch of times.
They fix it, and who's paying for that?
Isn't it the city?
Who pays for the city?
Oh god, that's
Damn, yep, yeah, he's got it. It's the city. I'm like, what? I'm
I mean, obviously,
respect to the space wheel. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. It looks dope, but
yeah. Space Toad's dope. It's been there a while.
my taxes, those towards education. You see these
Yeah.
hot lunch meals that they're eating in school.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah.
But I mean, they've been maybe so since I was in high school, but I don't know. That's a different topic.
Yeah, different topic for different day. Yeah.
I ain't going to that. Like, nah,
That's all
that's
can
not
of
talking
worms
about.
right there.
I'm gonna start just bagging on like high school lunches and how people starve. But no, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Let's
But
get back.
springing
On,
away.
let's get back on topic here, guys.
Wait, so
Back to the liquor. No,
so going to you guys like podcast. Now I'm gonna ask you guys some questions.
go
like,
for it, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
how did you two like? I feel you guys like have said this on a podcast before. I'm not sure. Like, how did you two meet? What's your guys' origin story? Like, how did you guys get into
my
this?
origin story starts with
Volume 1.
With us, full.
well, I mean, I was gonna start with the Batman origin story, but that's not true. So.
So I was in the alley, crime alley. And, both my parents shot by a mugger.
As always, they just pull the bead necklace or the pearl necklace and it just drives.
No, yeah, me and John have known each other since we were like 13, 14. We went to the same middle school, Sparks High School.
Oh, okay.
We're the exact same age.
Same
Okay.
birthday.
Yep, same birthday.
Yeah.
Same
Wait, no
year,
way.
everything. Yeah.
Wait, when's your birthday?
November 24th, 1992.
Are you guys
Yeah.
Scorpios?
No,
we're
we're
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
Whoa.
How dare you.
Ah,
Dare you.
See
weird.
that?
Weird.
Weird, yeah. So, yeah, we used to like hang out all the time, middle school, high school. Then we kind of just started doing our own thing around like age 20. And not until like I started to get back into music when I was like 25. I'm 29 right now. So
Yeah.
when I started to get back into music,
Yeah, mind you, Stu's been on and off on music since like high
since I was like
school.
16.
Haven't we all been there?
Yeah.
You know.
I know it's
For the
like
most part, yeah.
it's like I can't do
I
it.
haven't.
Well, Joe, you play ukulele.
Well, I mean,
That's true.
I mean, yeah, some
there you go.
sort of music.
I play ukulele.
I
as
should-
well.
sort
I
of
should have brought
music.
it.
Yeah, he did play ukulele. I remember back in high school, Stu just going through the hallways, just playing his ukulele, and
all the girls like, wow.
that's what he was.
Yeah.
That was his intention.
I was doing
That was
that.
his
No,
intention.
you weren't.
Yes,
Oh, God.
That
would
was
bring-
his intention.
Oh,
I would
Respect.
bring,
Respect.
yep, I'd
That's
bring,
all right,
because
that's all right.
I used to be deep in heavy metal and do riffs at school, but it only attracted guys. Like only guys care about like
Yeah.
super metal riffs, and I'm like, where are the girls at? And then I remember
No,
one
like,
girl.
this is cool. Nobody's
Yeah, one girl asked me, it's like, oh, can you sing the song? I'm like, I don't know how to sing, so I learned how to sing, and then I started doing that thing.
Okay.
But not until like after I left my ex-fiance around age 25, I started taking. I'm like, well, I don't really have anything to do in life, and I'm done with that. So I'm like, time to get super serious and like music. That's the only thing I want to do.
What kind of music do you like make? You make like hip hop right now, or
So, I love 80s pop,
okay?
like 70s, like funky stuff.
yeah.
So I'm like in the
Well, it's
era.
like the greatest. Those are like the greatest eras
Yeah.
of like
But
the funk.
But I love everything like fucking 80s rock, 90s R&B, 2000s punk stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of like the era of music that's coming on because it's like bringing back all the old
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, at like age 25, I started taking music seriously, and John had just graduated college.
What'd you
Wow.
graduate with, John?
Oh, I graduated with a digital media degree.
That he doesn't use.
that I don't even do.
That he doesn't use. But he picked up a camera.
Picked up a
Yeah.
camp, and then
And he started taking pictures.
Well-
And I told him, I'm like, John, can you shoot some music videos for me? Can you shoot some music videos? And he's like, all right. And I'm like, John, get on Instagram. Get on Instagram. He's
Yeah,
like, I want to
yeah,
make my
I
own
would-
website. I'm like,
yeah.
no, that's stupid.
I mean, I'm
get
still
on
gonna-
Instagram. That's dumb.
But
Get
so-
on Instagram.
yeah,
There's
so-
way more money over
Yeah,
there.
so basically for me, like, I've been tinkering with the camera since maybe like maybe since I was like 23, 24, and then stopped for a while,
Mhm.
and then after I graduated, I spent 3 months looking for a job. Didn't happen. Around that time, this town still wasn't doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I just said, screw it, I'm just gonna do something else. And then I remembered I tinkered doing like a video for like an art class. I was like, I could do video stuff. And then I just hopped on Indeed. The first thing that came up was a job for a local company that just came here from California that just started here,
Mhm.
and they wanted a video editor for like a YouTube channel.
Okay.
Applied. They took me on as an intern. I've been there ever since, and that's kind of how I got back into holding a camera. And then
Yeah, 'cause
for
I-
my
I-
side stuff, this guy
He
came
wanted a portfolio, just nice old
Yeah, I know, I was
classic,
trying to
like
be cool. Thank
website,
you.
all that stuff. And I'm like, please get on Instagram. Please get on it. He gets on Instagram. He starts going crazy. He starts meeting all these people that I don't even know about. And
Yeah.
then he starts inviting me over to places. I meet a lot more people. Like, he's the reason like we're even in this spot because
Nice.
how many people he met through photography. There's
Yeah.
only, like I feel like there's only so many people you can meet through
This
music.
is a great,
Photography's
great
like,
space, by the way.
Oh,
Yes,
thank you.
like,
Yeah,
thank
you.
well
Well done.
yeah. Shout out to Anthony and Felicia. This is obviously Masterpiece Studio. We've
Yeah.
talked ad nauseum over this, but like this is the creative space. Then obviously this is your guys' first time in here, so welcome. Like I said earlier,
I've seen the videos though. Like,
yeah,
I see.
yeah.
I see you guys like doing stuff on the social media.
Yeah, dude, we spend. I mean, at least for the most part, we try to always like try to get back in here because obviously they let us use the space for the podcast. So for the most part, I love using the space anyway, but I love to give back to them just as a thank you, for again constantly supporting and letting us use the space.
Yeah. But definitely around
yeah.
2018 is when we started doing music videos together. We started charging people, met more people. Kind of went. Jimmy came on. He wanted to do a podcast. We made this thing up. It was, but we've been crime duo ever since we were 15. So
Yeah,
and we're almost 30 now. So
Did you guys have
awesome.
your first beer together? Think about it.
Was it at the park with the Sparks Park?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have this thing with a group of a bunch of a close knit brothers and stuff. There was a time where
terrible
we
night.
Yeah, usually it involves a 40.
Oh, 40?
A 40. And we usually take it to basically Sparks Middle School. So shout out to Sparks Middle School.
We grew up there. We had a lot of moments there.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of moments where we've just taken a 40 and just hung out on the back end of the school. Even to this day, maybe before one of our closest brothers moved to Arizona. Maybe one of the times that we did, we went back there and had a bunch of drinks and just hung out at the back end of Sparks Middle School.
Well, that's what alcohol's supposed to do,
Yeah,
that is
bring
it's
that
just
kind of
to
bond.
bring the it's just to gather people together.
Yeah.
What do you think Jesus did? He turned water into wine.
I mean, that's how
he
he was
got
obviously
everyone?
thinking alcohol.
No.
He was thinking, I need something to sober, not sober, something that
I need something so people can believe me right now.
All right, I have a question.
Yeah.
'Cause I like to ask this question. What was the first alcoholic beverage you ever consumed in your life? A full drink. How old were you?
Mine
Budweiser at 3 years old.
Mine was
There's a videotape of that.
Wait.
Mine was
a
a
sip or a whole beer?
So
mine was a Corona at 12.
So in the 90s, VHS tape, my dad's filming my mom and my oldest sister. She was 15 at the time. They're all sitting at the table in the den. And then you see me as a baby in diapers walk up to the beer and I just chug it all and they're hey, Stu's drinking that beer. And then my sister picks up, it's empty. And I'm like, so that was the first time.
If I say that, I thought your whole family was egging on. Go.
No, they were what the hell?
That's impressive. That's the youngest that I have
impressive.
heard
That
yet.
is, yeah. For me, it's typical Hispanic
I'm surprised
story.
I'm not brain dead.
Yeah. For me, it's a typical Hispanic story where you got your family going let's here's son, here's your first beer. Just take it, drink it, take a sip, and kid reaction, ugh, and then you just hand it back. I don't want any. And then, there you go. That's how it was for me.
Same when I was at 14. I got reintroduced to brandy and eggnog. Now I love eggnog.
Oh man, wait till Christmas. I'll give you an eggnog.
I'm coming.
Wait for that eggnog, man.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah.
I'm a
No, I'm not even gonna tempt you. I already know you're gonna come. I didn't have to tempt.
I'm just gonna tell you
gonna
what's
happen.
I'm
It's
an
it's
eggnog
happening.
freak.
The hours Thursday through Friday.
I love eggnog too, bro. That's how I'm the fact that you're saying that, I'm oh my god, I know where I'm spending part of my holiday.
I'm good at cracking eggs now after making that eggnog though.
Dude,
I can do the double hand. I can do 2 in 1 hand.
Fresh cracked?
Yeah, fresh cracked.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad we talked about that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, Joe. What about you? What's your first memory?
When's your first drink?
Oh, I was 10 years old.
Tequila.
It was a Heineken.
Oh no.
Oh damn.
At my buddy's house, and his dad, who was not a good listen. Obviously, this never should have happened, but it was whatever,
Yeah.
I mean,
but the funny is I was 23 or 24, and I was out having some drinks with my dad on a trip, and I eventually told him this, and he's he got mad.
Your dad?
I'm 25, 26 years old, and he's getting mad at me for my 10-year-old actions that someone else. He didn't know what to do. He was mad. I was like. All right,
That's a dad
I'm just
move,
telling you
though,
what
you know?
happened.
so the anger that should have happened then is happening right now.
Exactly.
what?
But yeah, no, it was a Heineken, and I'll never forget that. Yeah, I still have a
Do
special
you hate
place in my
Heinekens
heart.
or do you love Heinekens?
I
Do they hold a special
every
place
once
in
in a
your
while. Yeah, it kind of strangely does.
Memorabilia now.
It strangely does.
Yeah.
They make the Kager, the little tiny keg for
yeah.
Heineken.
Oh, yeah,
That's my favorite.
I'll
those.
never turn down a Heineken. Yeah.
Don likes Heineken Blacks or whatever.
No, I love Guinness. I'm a big guy.
Guinness.
Guinness.
You're good.
4th Street, shout out Record Street. They got the Kingston Stout on tap. That
What? No.
dude, no,
What?
that
No,
is
stop.
the it is
I've heard of that.
it is the greatest.
Yeah, I have
It's
heard
not
of
the greatest,
this.
but it's
I didn't
one
know
of
they
the
had
best.
it. Yeah.
They have it on tap now. Shout out to the new crew. Shout out to that new head brewer. I always forget his name.
Damn.
But yeah, no, they got that one on tap. So give it a shot.
I might have to, dude. I've been wanting to try it. I've heard of it.
We used to have it on we had it. I don't know if I can trouble for this, but we used to have it on our keg before they had it on their keg. Yeah.
So
industry secrets.
Yeah, okay. So you're not saying you had it first, but
Yeah, I'm just saying,
It is what it
technically,
is.
yeah. They made it, but we had it.
Oh man, no, that's crazy. No, and I don't know. Just talking about the first alcoholic beverage we had, it's crazy how Yeah, obviously, like you said, it wasn't supposed to happen because it definitely wasn't supposed to happen. But no, it's very interesting to like find out like everybody's like different like drink that they started. You chugging a beer 8 is
Three.
inconceivable.
Three.
Sorry,
Yeah,
3.
yeah.
Inconceivable.
You win. You're the
Yeah,
winner.
yeah, that's a winner.
I can see the fro. You're like in your diapers or something.
Yeah, just some kid looking for milk and he gets a beer.
Everybody's talking and you just see me in the back. It was like almost like it was staged. I was like, that's me.
That sounds like it's stage.
Well, besides like, oh, I know you know Cafe Nota is like your favorite like alcohol right now. But like, what else do you drink besides that? Like, what is like?
Well, like I said, Guinness is like one of. It's been a staple for me. What else too? I love the Rocks tequila.
Left
That's like my
hands.
favorite.
Like
The
that,
Rocks?
The Rocks
Oh
tequila. I
man,
love
you
that
had
tequila.
me, then you lost me.
Yeah, I'm
you
sorry.
know?
I'm just saying, I love that tequila. It's just, I do love it.
What was it?
I mean,
Teremana?
yeah, Teremana. Yeah.
Teremana, yeah.
And for the most part, I mean, you know,
You don't like milk stouts anymore?
No, I do. Well, the reason why I stopped drinking a lot of like stouts and stuff.
the
is
belly.
because- No, well, that too. That's part of it. I'm trying to lay off, but you know, it's tough sometimes. But I mean, I'm more into mixed drinks lately. I couldn't tell you what they are because it all just depends. I'm really, again, like I said, my knowledge for knowing what's in there, I have no clue. But I know it has to have rum or whiskey in it, and that's it.
Oh man.
I'm more of a beer IPA guy. Like
Yeah.
Space Dust, Fresh Squeeze. Like
Oh yeah, if, like for Deschutes makes some good beer.
Yeah.
Fresh Squeeze, yeah. Dude, that one's dank. Like,
Yeah, see?
That was
I just,
Everybody's like, you drink IPAs. I'm like,
IPA.
IPA.
because I like kind of bitter taste sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, bitter is better. You have to remember that.
Yeah, I feel like
Bitter is better.
I feel like IPA. I'm gonna say it's an exquisite taste, but it's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody.
It's
Yeah.
not for me because every time I drink
Well,
IPA,
there's nothing for everybody,
No,
you know?
yeah. I feel like when I drink IPA, like it's good, but at the same time, like it just hits me a lot harder than
I
most
like how
things. I'm
IPAs
like,
sit.
No,
In a
I do.
weird way.
I will agree with that. They do
Do
sit
you
better
think-
than
Uh-huh.
beer.
How do you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I think it's just
I usually
nice
like
for
you
me.
know if you drink like a Budweiser, you feel like you're just foamed. Like
Because
all
I
up
take
in
one
the gut.
Space Dust and I'm like, good.
Well-
Like, I don't have to go crazy.
Wait, so who makes Space Dust? Is it Lead Dog or is it Revision?
No,
I thought it was.
I think it's
is it
Revision.
I think it's
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure
Revision makes the Space Dust.
Oh yeah, Lead Dog's number 2. I like that peanut butter beer.
12%.
Oh yeah,
that's just
shout out to
fantastic.
Lead
Yeah,
Dog.
shout out to Lead
Lead
Dog.
Dog's
dude.
Yeah, they're doing awesome over there.
Yeah,
Like they've really.
I haven't
vamped
had
it
that
up.
beer in a long time, but you know I have been craving.
Can
it
you
as
guys
of late.
perfect the peanut butter?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Like the peanut butter taste in alcohol?
I mean, technically, we do have like
Oh, stop!
I just feel
we
like
have an
nobody-
undisclosed like
Project.
peanut project that involves peanut butter.
I feel like that's extremely
Damn, you got
And-
cinnamon, coffee.
And
you got
no, but it's
peanut
not. It's
butter.
like it's not ours.
Hurting.
It's like something else. It's like from a different place. But I will say, when it gets to the market, you'll know. Like you'll know, like okay, that's what they were working on. Like because it's like it's the most American thing you could ever think of. Like
Yeah.
Taylor, the one that runs like the back, he always says he's like, this is gonna kill in America. Like, but it's like it's
I
not.
feel like that's so hard to get right.
Yeah, no,
No,
but
I agree. Yeah,
I don't
Sorry,
know.
You're right.
Joe.
He's like, I already got it right.
So
From the Italian
yeah,
side, let's go.
no, it's all good. No, but if you like the peanut butter stout, our cinnamon cordial
Oh yeah,
with the peanut butter stout as like a Boilermaker, like
Wait,
a shot.
what?
shot
yeah. Just drop it in, like pour it in there.
Oh, like you drop it like a
No, not like a car bomb.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
pour it in there.
Oh, okay.
or just shot in a but you put it together and it's like the best. It's
I'm
the
gonna
best.
stop by. You're gonna have to show me this.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
killer.
What are you doing after this?
What am I doing with it? Probably going home.
You guys are coming
Yeah,
to the
me-
70s
me
night
too.
tonight. That's all I know.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah, we got
And to
we got
70s.
DJ Discoteca playing tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Jazzy Jane.
Yeah. Oh
See,
shit.
Yeah.
when was it? Yeah.
Yeah, we were just
because
talking about this.
Sequoia, because I was at the Dead Ringer last night.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
and
shout out to
Sequoia
DJ
told me that she
Discoteca.
was going to be performing at Ferino. She's like, you know about Ferino? I'm like, yeah, I do. And then she was like, yeah, Jazzy Jane invited me to perform. And she's like, I was going to put your name in so you can also perform. I was like, oh, wow. Small world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For all I know, this is
Yeah.
the joke.
I don't know when Jazzy Jane is like, it was an R&B night, I was told. When's
Yeah,
that?
yeah. So she's doing like shout out to them and that whole. Jess is like the one that kind of connected us all with that whole group.
Is that Jazzy?
Jazzy, yeah, she's light skinned.
Is
She
her
got the
name
curly
Jazz?
hair.
Is her name
I think her
Jazz?
name's Jasmine, but I think she goes by Jazzy.
Pretty sure it's Jazz.
Okay, so
yeah, Jazzy. but she goes
Jazzy
by
and Jess is not the same person.
No,
No.
Wait, Jazzy and who?
Jess.
No, two different
set it
people.
up.
Two different
No,
people.
Jess
Two
is
different
the,
people. Jess is the
yeah.
apothecary.
Yeah.
Jazzy's the artist.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So then, like, she was just like, I remember we had a meeting one day, and like, I'd never met her, and she came in. She's like, "Yeah, if you want to if you want to have me like help plan events and stuff, I'm like, I'm down with it.
Great.
And I was like, oh, cool. I'm like, like, you want to get paid, but I mean, if you want to like throw an event, like, just let us know. And pretty much like Jess has kind of been taking over that part and like doing really good and getting those things. And like, yeah, let's get you to play there sometime, man.
Oh yeah, I would love to play there.
Wow.
Like do like an acoustic set like that.
That's what I want to do.
I've
yeah.
understood how that room works too, because it's a long space.
Yep.
And like having that's why we used to have the stage next to the bar, but then I'd get pissed whenever I had to go get like liquor, because then I'd like run in front of the DJ. But now it's like we moved it to the corner. It like fits well. We got like where the tables are movable now.
Just have that room spaced out. I feel like the acoustics there would be awesome.
Yeah. You were saying that when you were watching. He was like, he was like literally on the stage. He was like, oh my god, the acoustics
this is
are gonna be
nice.
crazy.
Yeah, and then also like we have a poetry night as well going on once a month. Yeah, homie Max, shout out to him. He's at UNR as a grad student. His Instagram is hilarious. I will give you that. He always talks about how he's like he's like a student teacher. And he teaches his kids at UNR, and then one time he's like, yeah, you know what? I'm kind of going to class a little drunk, but it's going to be okay. And then he walks
It's
out.
going to be a
He's
good time.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Yeah, shout out to him for him setting that up. I know he's been wanting to do that for a while. And then we're doing like a cumbia night once a month too. Like, you know,
We got cumbia too.
Yeah, we got cumbia.
Damn.
Yeah, it's Ruby Joan, man. She's the one spinning. Ruby Joan, Dad's Wax. They got that. They bringing that Latina like
Yeah, you bringing
Latina
that
fire.
culture in there too, bro.
Yeah.
Man, you trying
Don't
to
forget
bring life up on
comedy,
that
right?
stage.
Yeah, we got comedy once a month. Shout out you guys if you guys know David Gamble.
You got comedy. Oh, damn.
Yeah, we got once a month. Pretty much trying to do like one thing like once a month. Trying to make it interesting.
Yeah,
And then
some culture in there.
So again, you're kind of just like putting a lot of
Melting
things
pot,
going
yeah.
into the Ferino Distillery. Like you got a lot of things like
Yeah,
popping in
like
and out,
eventually-
which is good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fantastic
Well,
to have.
I mean,
Sounds
we
stressful.
got yeah. Well, it's not we like no one lives in that neighborhood.
Yeah, so we have
like,
to
we
bring
gotta-
people out there.
Yeah.
We got to give people a really
that's
good reason
very
to come
true.
down. Now this is good practice for us because like we're like doing a lot of like cool stuff.
Uh-huh.
So like when 4th Street gets fully built out, we'll already be in the habit of like just doing awesome things, and so
Yeah, you
it'll be
already know
second
how to
nature
do
for
it.
us. We'll have it ready to go.
Yeah, eventually-
everybody will know, we just go to Ferino because they know what's going on.
There's a lot of bars which like choose like just are smart and choose a great location. It's-
I mean,
that like makes it easy, and then like just people come to their bar, they don't have to work too hard, except like do their thing. But we've had to work hard from the beginning to like get people down to the space, and but I think it's more interesting that way,
Yeah, no, it gets like because it's like working in like because I work at 2 bars and like 1 bar, like people come to that bar because they're in the neighborhood, like there's houses next to it, there's a whole community. But it's like then like whenever I go to like Ferino, I'm like, okay, like now it's like my job to like how do I get these people in here, like what do we do? And like it's an interesting, I never had that role before, but like going back to like high school, like student government kind of like taught me that a little bit.
Okay.
Getting those events rolling. But it's also I would love to see it to the point where I'm like, we don't have to plan events. People just come in the door.
People just
Like,
come.
People just come. Like they know we make good stuff. They know what we're about.
Yeah, but right now you're putting in that groundwork. that
Yeah, and like
groundwork of,
before,
being able to
like when I
bring
first
people
got there, like nobody knew. Like they knew because of like when it opened. Because right before they're like, oh, I thought that place closed down because of COVID. But now it's like we're getting that momentum. Now people know. Like I was saying earlier, it's like, oh wait, yeah, Ferino, like that's on 4th Street.
Yeah,
now, like,
I mean, I've definitely seen it mentioned a lot lately. I'm like, oh snap,
Yeah.
Ferino. I mean, again, I only heard Ferino because of Sky, and then all of a sudden I'm like,
well,
seeing
Sky's a popular dude. It's weird.
No,
He's
he
quiet.
is. He is
but
popular.
yeah. Through a
That's
party,
weird,
and then
yeah.
he's just like,
True
what'd you
love.
say the other day, Joe?
I love that guy.
Like the
Every time he throws a party, I got to buy more tequila.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. Yeah.
every time. I'm like, where does all this tequila go? And Sky will be like, you know what? People were just drinking it the whole
Like,
time.
everybody was just having a good
random.
time.
That's so random how I met that guy. He just invited me over one day, and like we were just talking about music for like 2 hours, and then I'm like, this guy's really dope. No.
Yeah, no, I've made music with him too.
guy's
Like
really
he's tight. Like
Yeah,
he's
he's- like I love when I see like such an appreciation for like doing well, and I could see that within him, and I'm like, that's awesome. Yeah, so it's cool that he like supports me too, and I was like, oh wow, that's great. This guy's awesome. Yeah, and then he shouts us out to you guys, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, no, that was again.
I didn't think we were that cool. No,
Again, I didn't either.
Well, I was the one that reached out to him. I was like, because I heard Sky's podcast on here.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. And then I eventually just like listened to a couple more. I was like, these guys are pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, dude, thanks.
And
man.
then
Dude,
got you guys. Like I just told you, I was like, hey, I need you to meet these guys. I want to do sponsorship with them.
Dude,
And then-
hey man.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Mike.
yeah, Marcos,
Yeah.
thank you,
Appreciate
and Joe,
you.
thank you,
Yeah,
of course, for
yeah.
accepting the
Yeah.
having us in anyway. We definitely
Of course.
appreciate.
Because I remember
that.
that. I'm like, that podcast was a little tense.
Well, we're
So what's Sky?
Yeah,
Oh, he's so serious sometimes,
well,
you know?
well, that's because Jimmy
I mean,
just
'cause
gets
Jimmy
serious
brings
at
that out of
anybody.
people.
Yeah,
Who?
Jimmy
Jimmy.
just brings that at anybody.
What do you mean, just the seriousness?
He says some reckless
Jimmy
things
says some
sometimes. So like, there's a
Usually.
lot of tension sometimes.
Oh, I mean, like, that's like, you know, you got to build it up and then ask that
I
tense thing.
appreciate that side of him.
No, I know. I appreciate Jimmy's like inclusion as well because
He'll
like,
say what he thinks.
yeah, and then like that kind of gives like a different like perspective out of somebody.
Yeah,
Like,
it gives it a different tone.
yeah,
Yeah.
different tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like different, like not different from you guys, but it's like his voice in it. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that's what Jimmy looked like when I saw him. I was like, wait, I was expecting like I like heard all your guys' voices,
Yeah.
And
and I'm like, who's who? Like, what? I was like, okay, Stu's this one, and then I was like, John's this one, and then I was like, and then I saw you guys and you gave me your names. I'm like,
No, yeah, I am
none
the
of
shortest
them
of
got
the
right.
three.
Yeah.
but again, like funny enough, like Jimmy's like the youngest one out of us three. Like
Yeah.
by
Yeah, he
far
just-
the youngest.
Just turned
Like,
22.
He
Yeah.
just turned 22. While
No,
me
but he's
and Stu are
so
pushing 30.
he's professional. He's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
professional.
He,
Yeah.
Again, he has.
He got a lot of heart.
Definitely got a lot
Likes
of
to
heart.
get
Well,
things
because he
done.
cares, you know. Like
Yeah.
it's not like you
Yeah.
guys care too.
Yeah.
Like when you work with things that you care about, like
Oh,
it
yeah.
just makes it way easier.
Yeah.
Which is like, same with y'all. It's like I like to work with people who care.
Yeah.
It brings more out of whatever you do.
Yeah, and again, like that's why I was like excited to like have y'all on here because I'm like I definitely appreciate again from what we talked about last with Joe. I'm like the fact that y'all care. Like I'm like that's what we
Yeah,
care
there
about.
was so
We care
much-
about what people care, and I'm like
So
if
much
everybody
care
cares,
when
we're
we
all
went
cool.
in.
Yeah.
Which is
Such
freaking
a-
fantastic. So I did want to actually speak about this. I mean, just to throw like basically to see how y'all feel about this, but like going back to the team that y'all have like assembled. Like how does it stack up to everybody else on any bar? Like what would you say what stands out of your guys' team?
Like I don't. They're like, so I'm coming in with this knowledge of like I do know these things and I have to like educate them, and so I have to continuously learn and like teach them. But it's kind of fun. Like none of those guys were bartenders before. None of them. Like Sky was never a bartender. Talia, like she did like tea lounge and stuff, and like Carly served and stuff. But like bartending and understanding like what the process is, because like I have failed so much. Like when I first started as a bartender, I was at Somerset. I didn't even know like how to make a Manhattan, how to make an old fashioned. I didn't even know any of that nonsense. But now it's like I've put in the reps, and that's how Isaac and I like. I'm like, Isaac, you just got to put in the reps. Like there's no difference. Like every like the bars that like we would like to compete with are like great. Like, but I don't even want to say to compete. Like every bar has a different style and different things that they do. But I think we just like we care about having fun things on the menu that are different, as well as like educating people and making sure that people are comfortable when they come in the door and they want to come back. Because I feel like I've been in some places, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to come back here. One, service was good, but like the people, like they're not personal. They don't want to like talk. Like it's weird to see Sky talk sometimes. Because like I remember at first, like my coworker and I had an argument like, oh, Sky's not going to be a good bartender. I was like, no, like Sky's going to be a great bartender. Like, yeah, he's kind of slow when he makes his drinks, but like his interaction with the guests is like...
He's like,
Oh, he's definitely gonna hear that.
Yeah,
He's
no.
He's gonna listen to this. You know
Hey,
that,
from
right?
where he started to now, it's like it's great. But like everyone, like we care about like the hospitality aspect of it. Like we want to like we ask you like, hey, how's your day? Like, oh, like what do you do for work? And then we get to know the customer and get on that personal level. And it's just making sure that like we care about our craft too. Like we're not. It's weird when I gave Sky and Carly, I'm like, all right, you got this spirit, make a cocktail, and they made some dope shit. They made some I was like, wait, you guys know how to make this? Like, I was just so excited. I'm
you
like,
took a sip. You're like, what?
I was like, wait, this is delicious. I'm like, hell yeah, like keep this going. Like you guys are crushing it. And like, I think it just takes time. I wouldn't say we're not there yet. I'm going to say until like probably if I keep the same crew, probably till next year, then I think we could be doing like that. But it's like, I think we're just an awesome bar. Like we have like a unique space. We have a unique like team, and especially with Jess and stuff. That's awesome. So I guess that's the only difference that like makes us from other people.
Joe, how do you feel?
Yeah, Joe was like, well, what's your answer?
Gotta bring him in.
Yeah, no,
I
I think I mean, as far as the team goes, I think one thing that is important to me. We touched on it a little bit earlier, but it's like I always appreciate someone who has like some sort of like extra like enterprising thing that's important to them, besides it just like being a job, and it's like something that they're like, oh, well, everyone needs to pay their rent, and like that's key, myself included. You know, that's
Yeah,
that's important.
Just base.
Like everyone's got to make money.
Staple.
Everyone's got to like whatever, like have a job, like do their thing. But it's like if there's something else that you're excited about and you can bring that to the table, like then I get excited about that. So like that's what I think like that this team like has, is that everyone has like something that they're like, oh well, yeah, like I want to like make good drinks and like give good experience and like make money and like do all those good things. But like that's where I get excited, is when they're like, oh I don't like, I'm also like really into plants or whatever.
Yeah, shout out to Carly.
Like
Kindred
like
Spirits.
Carly is like
See,
literally like bringing
I've
like
heard of
new
that,
plants
yeah.
and stuff and shit in our space, and it's becoming more beautiful as a result, because she's like super into that. She's good at it, and she's like bringing plants in. And I'm like, yeah, all right, here's your budget this week or this month or whatever.
That's
And then
cool.
she brings in more stuff, and she's like, oh, these plants they were gonna get like thrown away, or they didn't do anything, so like I'm gonna bring them in. I'm like, awesome. So like all those like little things. It's like, all right, if that's what you're into, then that's what we're gonna do, and like it's gonna be awesome. And like I want you to like like we can like cultivate that, whatever.
Yeah,
So,
the bar's
I know it
definitely
seems
changed,
seems like silly, like something like simple, but it's like whatever you're into, like let's get into it and let's like make some beautiful things happen, So that's all I want to see, like out of everyone that and so far like everyone in the crew has something that they're into that they're gonna bring to the table, So that's what I love, figure out what they're into.
Is that dead? Okay, I'm gonna get that last battery and then we'll probably wrap it up in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you want to do that? Wait, you want to do that now, or you
What?
do
The
you
wrap up?
Wait, what do you want to do, or like the battery thing?
Oh
What
no,
time
I'm
you
just
got?
gonna change the battery. You could ask another question if you like. I'm just gonna change the battery real quick. We're just rolling.
Okay, well, no, that's a beautiful thing I love about you guys. Is like there's, again, like I said earlier, there was like a lot of room for like letting people have their personality in the business,
Yeah.
and letting people like branch out if they want to. That just creates good camaraderie, good community, good connection. Like you guys don't feel like boss like coworker thing. It feels like you guys are friends who like have a great.
Yeah.
From what I see of you guys, like 2 times that we met, it just feels like there's a lot of like, again, trust, appreciation, like a willingness to see you guys both grow. Not just like you give me money, okay, you stay there, you do this job. I'm pretty sure there's some of that.
Yeah.
There has to be a little bit, but there's definitely like like you don't have to stay here forever. You're not trapped in each other's like cages, if so to say.
Yeah,
so
but
to speak.
it's also nice knowing that, because like it makes me not want to leave.
Yeah,
because it's
exactly.
also like
Yes.
if we get this going, then like that's just like something I could add to my resume. But also like I wouldn't be here in my like knowledge of like spirits and stuff without this man. Like I have to give all the respect to him. Like he's taught me so much, especially when it comes to like this and that. And I never thought I'd have an appreciation towards alcohol like I do now, and like. It's
You're welcome.
yeah, and it's crazy because like it is right. Like he's like, I wouldn't say he's he's my friend and stuff, but like he's also like my mentor as well.
Yeah.
Like he's just, like when I have like. When I came to him the other day, like I feel like I'm doing a bad job. He's like, well, relax, like take it back, like this is what you got to
That's
do,
huge,
like
though.
it's just like
Definitely has like that mentor mentee like relationship. Like
He calls me dad.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
and I don't appreciate it.
well, it's funny. I'll be like,
I
"Later,
got
Dad."
kids.
Like, thanks,
I don't need another one.
Well, no, because he is like we are his kids, like at the shop, like we are there, and he does.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like he's just like he does hate it, but it's like it's true,
No, yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously we're
Going to the wrap up.
yeah
Yeah, going to the wrap up.
yeah we're coming back. We're coming to the end. But before we answer that question, I do if I can remember what I was gonna say, because I had it and I just lost it right now. But
I hate it when that happens.
I know I had it and I was gonna ask one more
Question
thing and I
two.
totally freaking forgot. Shoot.
Think.
What was it? Oh yeah,
Something
it was
deep.
it was about the Ferino hat, because we did speak lightly on it.
Yes.
I was talking about where's the merch? Where's the merch coming?
Oh, we got the merch. We got the merch at the. We found some upstairs. We got hoodies. We got t-shirts. We're actually okay.
Random hoodies
yeah,
and
we-
t-shirts.
Yeah, we got to do much better than that.
Yeah, well, okay. So the merch that we got now, like I said, I was thrown into this. I have to get rid of what we have right now, and there might be a few T-shirts that might go missing, and it might end up in here. Who knows? But no, we're actually working like kind of on like a rebrand when it comes to the merch.
Okay.
Like Taylor, like I said, and he works in the back. Like we've been talking about making new T-shirts, this and that, and especially when I drop my bitters line, which is Joe's been wanting me to do for a long time. I want to drop like a T-shirt. I want to drop like a crew neck shirt Like
Okay.
sweatshirt with every like bitter. So like an orange bitter, get like a bright orange like
What?
sweatshirt.
Yeah, that sounds
You get into like
dope,
cardamom, you get the like
Don't
light
put some
green.
swag in
Yeah,
there.
that
Yeah,
sounds
like,
cool. Yeah,
well,
I like that. I like that.
I only do like 10. I've understood scarcity. If Supreme can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, if you're gonna go the
Yeah.
Supreme model, do it like in small batches.
No, that's true.
Small bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to care about the quality too.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And-
but yeah, when it comes to Ferino gear, like Joe has the only hat and the only beanie. That's
Yeah.
on him.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, what? You told me it was the only hat.
Yeah, it's the only hat, and he has the only beanie with Ferino
I
on
do
it.
the exact same stuff with my brand.
No, yeah, he does.
I make one like a sweatsuit jacket just
Uh-huh.
for me, or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a hat just for me, my
Yeah.
poster just for me.
It's like, I'm done.
I made that. People are like, when can I get that? I'm like, you never.
Never.
Never gonna get it. And there's only one person that has another like vamp hat, and that's
Yeah.
Darren.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
Oh,
I
man.
feel that.
Yeah, no. So we're talking about like new merch coming and stuff. So
Dope.
hopefully before like June, July.
Oh, dude, hey,
Yeah.
I'm excited because I looked at Ferino hat. I'm always looking for a hat to represent a brand out here. So
Yeah. Well, I like the style of your hat. Like it's like it's got that
it's
like
got like kind of pop
like-
up.
yeah, it has that pop up and then like
I'll
it's
be down
nice.
with that.
It's like,
I mean, I'm good with that hat too, but whichever.
Yeah.
Whichever works for me.
He's like, I'm not selling this hat.
He's like, no. He's like, this stuff.
No, that's like that stays with him forever.
So,
He'll like
What y'all talking
Yeah.
about? That, man?
Get off my hat.
hey, I'm
leave it
not.
alone.
I'm just saying, if it goes missing one day, I don't know where it went.
We're not selling anything. Except liquor.
No, that'll happen for sure. No, I think we want. I think we have a lot of potential to do something with like Keep Reno Feral. I think.
No, yeah, there's definitely something you can go with it, which I'm excited to see what y'all come up with it. All right, Stu, take it home.
Oh, wrap up questions. So, last couple questions is plans for the future. Anything you want to promote now, liquor, and at the tail end of that, because this is the Blueprint podcast, and we want to like give chunks of nuggets of knowledge that people who want to be in your guys' position at the moment, like words of wisdom. So like you, when you just started out and you wanted to do this, what would you tell yourself? The one thing. So first thing, things for the future.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for the future. So we're gonna keep launching new products. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
This
we've
is
been
good.
in the R&D. We got a couple that are gonna come out probably next month, I think.
We're gonna build out the upstairs. And for me, I really want to continue this kind of like community model. One thing that I'm gonna launch pretty soon is like a membership model. Not everyone's got like membership models and like
Club
member
Ferino.
club or whatever. The Club Ferino. The concept is gonna be $20 a month. It will include 2 large format cocktails. So you already get like which normally would be like $20 a pop, so like $40 worth of value.
Nice.
We're gonna lay on like a bunch of cool stuff on top of that, including our Ferino like tiki barrel, like a really like cool ceramic barrel. I know this all sounds like really really lame. So,
sounds awesome.
but no,
Barrel?
but
Come on now.
it'll be 10% off everything at the like bar tabs, retail, all part of this $20 a month membership. You'll get free shipping on bottles like anywhere in the country, basically. So if you want to send your like friends and family like a bottle, it'll be like free shipping to anywhere in the country. And then what else? Like 60% off tours. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're gonna keep adding value to it over time. Like $20 a month is like definitely like a steal, but
Yes.
for me, I just like want more people to come in and like see the space, and then like from there, I feel like just magic will happen. So I'm like,
Yeah, get comfortable with space.
yeah,
get
I'm trying to
used
come up with
it.
what I call my Godfather offer. I want to give the people something, an offer they can't refuse.
Something must
It's the
The
Godfather
Godfather
offer.
special.
Like just like whatever it takes, like an offer you can't refuse. Like just come down here, come see what we have going on, because once you come and see what we have going on, you're gonna see it, you're gonna appreciate it, you're gonna want to come back, and like we'll be able to like do good things together, like more like things and collaborations, and like things will happen just by virtue of like getting into the building and talking with Marcos and like learning about what we're all about. So I'm like, at this point, I'm like, whatever it takes. So I want, that's why I'm like trying to come up with my Godfather offer. But yeah, so it'll be like a club membership. We'll be launching pretty
Before
soon.
moving to Marcos, for real though, I think you should call it the Godfather.
I think I figured it out.
Pretty dope,
The
yeah.
Godfather membership.
Yeah, I was
Hit
like,
the-
that'd be pretty
hit them
dope,
with
yeah.
the hand.
Yeah, you're already there. I mean, you already said it. You might as well just keep it. I was like, let's go.
Cosa Nostra.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Marcos, anything you want to add to that?
I told Joe this the other day, I want to be the biggest like Amaro selection in Nevada, but eventually have like the most Amaro, like how Whiskey Bar has the most whiskeys in Nevada. I want to do that with Amaros because like Amaros is dope. Like Amaros are just the most delicious thing ever. Like there's no rules to it. There's no laws like whiskey and stuff. Like if you make it good, then people, like Joe said, it's like having them buy it once is good, but have them buy it again is next. Going and trying to like educate people on Amaros is the next thing. And just throw more events. So like we have comedy night and cumbia night once a month, and poetry night once a month as well. And then eventually get more live music in there. Like that would be tight.
Yeah,
Getting more like
there.
I've understood like having DJs and stuff is awesome. I really do like it. Like it does bring the people in, it does get the money.
Yes.
But I do enjoy having like a class performer and having like people that care about like, okay, like, you know, like you play guitar and you're like a soloist, like hit me up, like Marcos at FerinoDistillery.com.
Yeah, I would love
Like
to do it.
if you're an artist, like hit me up and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, you heard it. Hit up Marcos if you're trying to
Yeah.
I've been waiting for a place to
Yeah.
do more acoustic stuff.
Yeah, no, like that's like a big thing too. You see acoustic, but you see people doing like folk. You see a lot of people doing country, but you never get into like the R&B. You never get into like the hip hop acoustic, like unplugged basically.
Yeah, because I would love to do like acoustic like live, like just piano or guitar
Like,
of my
That would
songs.
be fantastic.
Because people have been asking
Yeah.
for that. I'm like, I want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like
Well,
that's
there
the
we
next
go.
goal. That's like the next mission to get that going, and then also still like bring the community together.
Yes, that's
like
good.
a lot more fundraisers coming up because I am big on that. I want to make sure that people that do help the community are like they do get what they need. Like especially at the Reno Breeder Project, shout out to them. Soups for Soul, shout out to them.
And giving people like a space.
Mhm. Yeah.
I haven't realized so much like how important that is.
Yeah, and then people just need a
have
space.
a physical
Yes.
space to
Yes.
like to invite
do
people
so.
to do their thing,
Yeah.
to raise
That's
their
huge.
money
Yeah.
or whatever
Ju-
they need to do.
Yeah, just like how we, like, you know, what Masterpiece giving us this space to like
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
our own thing. Yeah, again, you're
So
on that
it
same line
matters.
as well.
So
where you're
huge.
giving people the space.
Yeah, and it's just like because they
Perfect.
bring the space. It's not only that; it's like they're gonna remember that we had that there, and like that was the space that they had there.
Yep, that's huge. And so before we get into the words of wisdom, how do our listeners get the 50% off for coming into you guys? How does
Just
that work?
Yeah, just go to FerinoDistillery.com. There's a link to our.
Link will be down in the description too.
Yeah, exactly. There'll be a link to like for like the tours basically, and when you go to check out, you just put in Blueprint, and there's a discount code basically. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So if any of you non-locals out there, link will be in the description. If y'all ever in Reno, check out Ferino Distillery.
Yeah, put
Go
the
to that
blueprint
tour.
in there.
Blueprint in there, you get that 50% off.
Gonna have to make a Blueprint spot podcast like cocktail now.
Oh shit.
I don't have
We
to.
were,
Yeah.
we
I'll
were
have to-
planning
in the
on
works.
I'm gonna like in the works. I'll figure.
in the
I know he
works,
likes
figure it
rum,
out.
so I
Yeah.
can. I think we can do this. I think I got this down. Yeah. Like.
Okay.
We're going with something.
Yeah.
We got
Oh, and then
something.
also say like more products too. We do have.
Yeah.
I will say this one now that like, I feel like I've been teasing it, but we got our fourth loco coming out. It's essentially like our version of like a twisted tea, but a twisted tea.
fourth
like,
is in 4th Street.
Yeah, to represent
Oh,
4th
okay,
Street.
Fourth.
It has our
I was like,
Amaro.
what?
So basically, it's a infusion. It's a black tea with our Amaro, grapefruit and honey
Oh,
syrup.
man.
About
you making it real tough not to stop by.
hey, I'm gonna be real. Like that's gonna come out at least before. It's gonna come out like either
Next
the
week.
next week, either before
So
May
just-
because I'm
so
taking
just-
some vacation in the first 2 weeks of May.
okay.
So probably after that, or it might be
Just
done
in time for the summertime,
Just in
huh?
time for the summertime. That's like a thing, and then we're just bringing out our canned cocktail programs again. So you know, if you don't want to like stop to the bar, you know, come grab a 4-pack. That's it. You know, grab your 4-pack, go home, take it home, put it over ice. That's one thing that we really Joe's
man.
been on me about. He's been trying to like be like, hey, get these. We have so many cans. We got to get this over with.
Wow,
I know the canning machine works now, so
Oh, we
that's like
definitely,
next
we're
step.
definitely have to pick some up for the.
Oh yeah,
for the
there might
studio
be a
here, too.
donation to you guys.
Yeah, I would love to pick some up and hand some to the studio.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just for them to
Yes.
have some in here.
For sure.
It'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Mhm.
Fantastic. Sweet.
Okay, so either a word of advice or somebody who wants to get in your position or life advice, whatever you want to give. We'll start with Marcos and Joe.
Just read books, like legit. Like, if you want to get into the craft, like, just start reading as many books as you can about it. Like, Death and Co. is a good one. The Morrow book. That's like one piece of advice I got from a good mentor. He's just like, I'm like, oh, I want to get into this more, and then he just threw a bunch of books at me. Shout out to Christy from Blind Dog. She's like the originator. She's the one that gave me all those books. I still remember when I like went to the bar and I was like, hey, like, I want to read these books, and then she just gave them to me. And they helped me so much, like, progress on, like, learning cocktails, but also, like, learning service. So if you want to get into the bartending role, try to learn more than just, like, just how to bartend, like, having an outside perspective of, like, serving or, like, baking or, like, cooking. Like, those help into,
Those
like,
are
making.
huge, yes.
Yeah, those are huge, because then you start to understand flavor profiles and stuff.
Just dropping knowledge on
Texturing
anybody.
and consistency of all that. Yeah.
And then just,
Huge.
like, just don't get burnt out, too. Because, yeah, that's, like, that's my advice.
How do you not get burnt out?
Yeah, I was like, that's tough.
Take self-care. That's really it.
Yeah.
You know, you got to take
On
your time
wax.
off.
Yeah, I'll say
Yeah,
that
why?
rest is just as important as work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a huge one. So, Joe, words of wisdom, any advice to get in your position, life advice?
Uh-oh, here we go.
Yes.
So like for my
Think about this.
well, my like theme for this year for myself was partnerships, and for me, what that basically was about is like, if you're trying to go somewhere, like, go together, you know, with figure out who your people are and like invite them into what you're trying to do instead of trying to do it by yourself. Because like I'm guilty of like retreating into myself, especially these last few years. You know, like, we just launched and then COVID and like all this stuff, and like I did not do a very good job of like immediately reaching out to like all my people in my community. I mean, like, here's what's going on, here's how I need help, here's how we all get through this together. I kind of retreated into myself and like tried to like fix all the problems myself and like try not to like burden other people with like my problems, you know. That was a mistake, and it took me a while to sort of realize that. And since I've kind of like changed gears a little bit and started asking for more help, not out of a place of like you know, like I deserve this, so please help me out, but more like I think what we're doing is awesome, and I need some help. and like who wants to be, you know, who wants to be a part of this story, you know. And that has changed like my mentality. It has changed the results of like what we've been able to do in the last like 6 months or so. Kind of like changed the tone of the business, and you know, it's just meant a lot. So I guess that's the one thing that I've personally learned, you know, like more recently. That, I mean, it's obvious advice, but it's like easier said than done, you know. But for me, it's like, you know, do it together, and invite people into your life that want the best for you, and ask, and you know, like, be specific about how, you know, like how you're trying to get where you're trying to go. And I've been pleasantly surprised if I just am honest with myself and with the people in my life, and just ask for what I need. You know, like just these like magical things happen, you know. So it's like just getting past myself and getting past my own like fears of people judging me has gone a long way. So I guess that's it. Like it's a lot more fun to go together than to try and go it alone. And I've just come back to that realization this year. So
yeah,
that's all I got.
I heard on like a chef. He said this. He's like, if I want to move fast, I'll do it by myself, but if I want to move further, I'll move it with other people.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Joe's saying.
True.
It's timeless advice. It's been around forever. It's not, it's nothing new, but it's something that I've had to kind of like reteach myself.
That's
you know?
that's the funniest thing. It's like every powerful message is probably something you already heard before.
Nothing,
but you have to go through it again.
Nothing new under the sun.
There's nothing new under the sun.
But that doesn't mean you don't have to struggle. Do your own struggle. Even
you're gonna
so,
relearn all
so.
the stuff that people told you about.
Yeah.
But Joe, Marcos, Ferino, John, send us home.
Well, before I finish it.
Okay, yeah.
I just want to say one more thing. Thank y'all again for
Thank you guys.
coming on. For
Oh, yeah.
we
This means a lot to
appreciate
us,
it.
for sure.
No, really, yeah. And again, it meant a lot to us for y'all. Just reaching out and you know building this partnership / sponsorship like with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, being able to
And
collaborate with such like people who have such heart.
Yes,
It's awesome.
freaking love that, man. Seriously. And again, we definitely got some things coming up, and we're definitely gonna create some great things together as well. So thank y'all so much. We appreciate it. This is Blueprint Podcast. We love y'all.
Blueprint out.
Nice.